against Middle Creek last week, Mount Zion last week, and if they can keep doing that, then they're going to be successful. And you want to see Adrian Carr and Cordell Benton get on the corners, but with a wet field, it's going to be really tough. But if they can stay successful up the middle, I think Newton County will be in good shape.
It'll be the Rams and the Heritage Patriots right here in Covington, Georgia, just behind Sharp Middle School at the stadium known as Homer Sharp Stadium. We have got plenty coming up for you here on the Tailgate Show. In just a moment, we're going to bring you a new segment on the Tailgate Show. We'll be going inside the numbers and talking about the Rams' lifetime record against the Patriots and previous seasons in which they've started 2-0. We'll also bring you the Region Roundup, and we'll be talking with Coach Jack Cook about the Rams game last week against the Mount Zion Bulldogs, a 29-15 victory. And we'll also be talking about tonight's game against the Patriots. We'll be back with more on the Tailgate Show on WGFS AM 1430.
Cereal biscuits and gravy, tomato slices, Jell-O, fresh fruit and grits. Whew.
Bet you can't do it again.
Again?
Shoney's 40-item all-you-care-to-eat breakfast bar presents a dilemma for some of our more sporting customers.
Look, I don't know if I have one more in me.
You see, it seems they view our mouth-watering selection of 40 breakfast items as a challenge.
Oh, it is.
One look at all that freshly prepared food available at one low price, and they want it all at once.
Well, maybe one more time.
But there's only one way to get everything on our breakfast bar at once.
Here goes. Pancakes, scrambled eggs, bacon, breakfast potatoes, cheese sauce, sausage, cinnamon toast sticks.
And even that takes practice.
Fresh fruit and grits. Did I get it all?
Well, you forgot sticky buns again.
Oh, no. All right, here we go. One more time. Pancakes.
Shoney's all-you-care-to-eat breakfast bar. With so much to choose from, maybe we should call it all you dare to eat.
And sticky buns. Boy, that's a mouthful.
And remember, Wednesday night is family night at Shoney's. Kids 12 and under eat free off the kids' menu. Limit 2 per adult meal purchase only at Shoney's.
Well, I hear that train a-coming. It's coming down the line. It's loaded down with lumber, headed for some friends of mine. So listen, Mr. Builder, I'll tell you where to go.
To 4112 Emory Street Northwest in Covington.
Don't buy your lumber from a stranger. Buy from someone you know.
That's Campbell Lumber Company, home of Porter Paints, 4112 Emory Street, Covington.
With free financing and free delivery, you really need to come by Hayes Furniture and check out these new items. Hayes Furniture has 9x12 Oriental rugs, 7-foot Oriental runners in a variety of colors and styles, assorted brass, crystal, and glass lamps. Hayes also carries a wide selection of Bassett and Vaughn furniture. Hayes Furniture has something for everyone and every room in your home. So come by Hayes Furniture, located at 6166 Washington Street in Covington, 786-3737.
Stadium in Covington, Georgia. Rams and Patriots about 25 minutes away from starting. But right now we're going to take a look inside the numbers and talk about the Rams and a look at some statistics for them from previous years. Newton is 6-7-1 lifetime against the Heritage Patriots. Their first matchup between the two schools was Heritage's first year of varsity play, 1978. Heritage beat Newton County that year 12-7. The biggest blowout win, something that my broadcast partner might remember, 1981, Newton over Heritage 30-7. Paul, what do you remember about that game?
Oh, that was a really good game for us. We started out the season really well against the Heritage Patriots. We're being really bad, and that was something that we got our season off to a good start.
Well, it was the biggest blowout win of the 14 times that these two teams have met. The biggest blowout loss, 1989. Heritage 33, Newton County 9. That was played up at Reed Stadium. Jason Joyner and company leading the Patriots to a 5-5 season that year. Last year, a surprisingly high-scoring game as Heritage defeated Newton County 38-30. Now, since 1989, Heritage has outscored Newton 91-53, so there's a trend the Rams want to try to reverse. The Rams' 29 points last week was their most since the Rockdale game last year. They scored 35 there and beat the Bulldogs by 2 touchdowns, 35-21. Incidentally, their win over Mount Zion last Friday, also a 2-touchdown win. The Rams are 2-0 for the first time since 1990. The last time they were 2-0, back in 1990, they actually went 3-0, winning their third game over Monroe area. In their final 7 games, well, they went 2-5 to finish the season and even 500 at 5-5. The Rams' best season in recent memory, 1987, they were not 2-0 to start the season there. In fact, they lost their opener to Griffin High School by a score of 20-0. So the Rams have a distinction here that they did not have in that big season of 87. The stat of the week: in the last 45 years, the Rams have been 2-0 7 times, and in those 7 years, their record, 50 wins, 18 losses, and 3 ties. The only time they haven't been over 500 was in 1990 when they finished 5-5. And outside of that, their worst record was 7-2-1. That was in 1957. And again in 76. A look at the years when the Rams have been 2-0. The first time they did it as Newton High School or Newton County High School was back in 1950. Started the year with 2 wins. They finished up 7-3. 1953 they had 8 wins, only 1 loss and 1 tie. And of course 57 they went 7-2-1. 1964, a big year for the Rams football team. They finished 9-2 that year. 1976 they went 7-2-1, and again 1981, Paul, a 7-3 performance from the Rams. Another big season there for Newton County.
We had a really strong team that year. You're talking about 5 players off that team that received major college scholarships. We were very big. We had an offensive line that averaged about 240 pounds. We had a defensive line that averaged right at 260. That's probably one of the biggest teams Newton County ever had.
Well, looking at these numbers, these 7 years that the Rams started 2-0, do you see this team being in the company of those big teams from previous years?
This team reminds me a lot of the 81 team. We back in 81, we had to go both ways, and a lot of the players are doing that this year. They have the heart that we did. They're actually in a little bit better shape than what we were, because we were dragging tired at 3rd and 4th quarter, and these guys are going both ways out here for Newton County. It seems like they're really in shape and they're not getting tired, and plus winning helps a lot too.
That's a look inside the numbers for the Newton Rams and tonight's game against the Patriots, about 20 minutes away. Coming up, we'll talk with Coach Jack Cook about tonight's game, and that's on the Tailgate Show right here on your station for Newton County Rams Sports, WGFS AM 1430.
Why do people go to Pippin's Barbecue? Because they've heard about the great food, great service, and great prices. Pippin's Barbecue has delicious baby back ribs, Brunswick stew, and smoked chicken. But no matter what you try, you're going to love what you eat at Pippin's Barbecue.
Our food and our service just can't be beat. You're going to love what you eat.
Pippin's Barbecue, Highway 20 South in Conyers and on Alcovey Road in Covington.
If you think your business is too small to afford a business radio system, think again.
Billions, the annuity way. Your auto owner's insurance agent can show you a safe and systematic way to save. Auto owners no-load tax-deferred annuities credit high interest earnings to your savings program. All auto owners' investments are of the highest quality. No junk bonds or real estate ventures. See your no-problem auto owner's agent and save the annuity way.
Call your auto owners agents. They are people just like you.
See the Steele Jones Insurance Agency, located on Floyd Street, Southeast in Covington. Or call 786-9213.
Auto owners, the no-problem people.
Check out these items at Mayfield Ace Hardware on sale now through September 19th. Philips IQ bulbs, you pay $3.99 minus a $1 rebate, final cost $2.99. A lighted outdoor wall fixture, $5.88. Duracell alkaline batteries, 2-pack and 4-pack, $1.99 and $2.49 each. An A6 outlet power strip, $2.99, and a Woods clamp-on halogen trouble light, only $14.99. This sale continues through September 19th at Mayfield Ace Hardware on the Square and in Newton Plaza.
Today's business relies on communication. A two-way radio system provides communication instantly. For information about two-way radio, visit East Metro Communications, this area's oldest dealer in communications equipment. East Metro Communications is locally owned and operated. That means you get good hometown service before and, most importantly, after the sale. East Metro Communications is conveniently located on Highway 278, a quarter mile east of the hospital in Covington, or call them at 786-6796.
From Homer Sharp Stadium in Covington, Georgia, the Rams and Heritage Patriots now about 6 or 7 minutes away from beginning. The scoreboard says about 3:45 left until the game, but I have a feeling they'll delay it, or at least we hope they will do that. We're back, and time to tell you how the region is stacking up as we barrel towards sub-region play. That's right, folks. You can stop holding your breath. It's time to bring you the region roundup. We'll look first at the standings in the region, starting with the north side, where there's only one undefeated team, and it's got to be Clark Central, right? Central Gwinnett, South Gwinnett? Nope, it's the Norcross Blue Devils under Coach Theo Caldwell. 2-0 so far after posting the win last week. There's only one winless team in the north side. That's Habersham Central. They were off last week. Everybody else on the north side is 1-1. Clark Central lost last week to make it 1-1. Heritage, Central Gwinnett, Meadow Creek, and South Gwinnett all have 1 win and 1 loss this year. Over on the south side, 2 teams sit side by side atop the region. One of them's the Brookwood Broncos, and that other team is from Covington. I think they're called the Rams, I'm pretty sure of that. Winder Barrow's also undefeated, but they've only played 1 game so far. Every team in the South sub-region has won at least 1 time. That shows the comparative strength of 8 Quad A South. Berkmar is 1-1, as is Rockdale, Shiloh, and the Parkview Panthers, who, by the way, went down to the Forest Park High School team last week. Forest Park was yours truly's pick to click last week. Thank you very much. Well, at least we got 1 right. We won't discuss our college record until halftime, but we will get over that once we get to that. Now we'll look at this week's matchups inside of Region 8 Quad A. The matchup of Lilburn's 2 teams is tonight as the Meadow Creek Mustangs clash with the Berkmar Patriots. Both teams share the same stadium in Lilburn, so look for a serious rivalry hitting its boiling point over there in Lilburn, Georgia. There are 2 other inter-region games. The Central Gwinnett Black Knights travel to Snellville to take on the Shiloh Generals. Another big Gwinnett County rivalry heats up as South Gwinnett and Brookwood tangle from Brookwood Community Stadium. Over on the north side, the not-so-big and bad Clark Central Gladiators will play the Rams' next week opponent, the Lithia Springs Lions in Death Valley up in Athens. Stevens County will travel up to Cornelia and play against Habersham Central. The Parkview Panthers back at home taking on Jonesboro. Rockdale County locks horns with regional rival Stockbridge, and Winder Barrow will be up the road in Monroe. They'll be taking on the Monroe area Purple Hurricanes. Norcross is off this week, and they'll maintain their standing as the top team in Region 8 Quad A North. The other big matchup right here at Homer Sharp Stadium, that's the name of it, the Rams and the Heritage Patriots. Well, we've got to have a pick to click this week, and this time we'll go with Winder Barrow. They're 1-0 and taking on an improved Monroe area team. Doesn't matter. The Winder Barrow Bulldogs have a lot to prove this year. They're proving to folks that they belong in Quad A. Look for Winder in a big way tonight over Monroe area. Captains are meeting at midfield, 3 of them for the Rams, 4 for the Heritage Patriots. Ram action very, very shortly coming to you, and we'll be back with it right after this on WGFS AM 1430.
You've been listening to the Newton Ram Tailgate Show with an inside look at Ram football and tonight's game, as well as all the action in Region 8 Quad A. Now get ready. The war is about to begin. Ram football is right around the corner on your station for Ram Sports, WGFS AM 1430.
Cereal biscuits and gravy, tomato slices, Jell-O, fresh fruit and grits. Whew.
Bet you can't do it again.
Again?
Shoney's 40-item all-you-care-to-eat breakfast bar presents a dilemma for some of our more sporting customers.
Look, I don't know if I have one more in me.
You see, it seems they view our mouth-watering selection of 40 breakfast items as a challenge.
Oh, it is.
One look at all that freshly prepared food available at one low price, and they want it all at once.
Well, maybe one more time.
But there's only one way to get everything on our breakfast bar at once.
Here goes. Pancakes, scrambled eggs, bacon, breakfast potatoes, cheese sauce, sausage, cinnamon toast sticks.
And even that takes practice.
Fresh fruit and grits. Did I get it all?
Well, you forgot sticky buns again.
Oh, no. All right, here we go. One more time. Pancakes.
Shoney's all-you-care-to-eat breakfast bar. With so much to choose from, maybe we should call it all you dare to eat.
And sticky buns. Boy, that's a mouthful.
And remember, Wednesday night is family night at Shoney's. Kids 12 and under eat free off the kids menu. Limit 2 per adult meal purchase only at Shoney's.
Ladies and gentlemen, you don't want to miss out on these new arrivals at Hayes Furniture Company of Covington. They have a new shipment of gun cabinets just in time for the holidays. Hayes Furniture has corner cabinets and curio cabinets. And to help you ladies keep the house clean, Hayes has a wide selection of Hoover vacuum cleaners, upright and canister styles, along with shampooers and steam cleaners with supplies of bags and belts. That's right at Hayes Furniture on Washington Street, Covington, 786-3737.
Hey, Covington. Campbell Lumber Company is world headquarters for builders. Whether it's 1 2x4 or an entire truckload, Campbell Lumber Company gives you an entire world of building materials and supplies, paint, and hardware. Did I mention Porter Paint? Oh, you bet. Campbell Lumber Company is now home of Porter Paint. 4112 Emory Street Northwest, right here in Covington. See Jackie and the crew at Campbell Lumber Company.
At Courtesy Ford in Conyers, we have started our year-end clearance early because we are overstocked by approximately $2 million with the best selection of new Ford cars and trucks in the area. If you are looking for a new car or truck, forget list price, forget 6% over invoice, forget $100 over invoice. At Courtesy Ford, you only pay factory invoice. For a pleasurable buying experience, visit the House of Courtesy, where we're never satisfied until you are. We're conveniently located just off I-20 East at exit 41 in Conyers. It's time for exciting Newton County Rams football on WGFS AM 1430. Ram football is brought to you by Bulldog Tire, Steele Jones Insurance Agency, Pippin's Barbecue, the Farm and Garden Depot, Charles Evans Nissan, Ludi Sports Shop, Carroll's Floor Covering, Newton Federal Savings and Loan, Mayfield Ace Hardware, East Metro Communications, Hayes Furniture, Coast to Coast Home and Auto, Campbell Lumber Company, Shoney's Restaurant, and Courtesy Ford. And now we take you to the Gridiron Live with Kevin Holden and Paul Dailey.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for Newton Ram football here on WGFS AM 1430. Rams tonight against the Heritage Patriots here at Homer Sharp Stadium. Paul Dailey, my broadcast partner. Paul, thankfully, we're inside. We don't have to put up with the rain, but it looks rough out there.
It sure does, Kevin. It seems like every time Newton County gets a home game, it rains. And Coach Cook talked about that this morning at the breakfast. Just look for 3 yards in a cloud of, well, it's not a cloud of dust. It's going to be a puddle. But Newton County, it's probably worked to their advantage. Heritage is going to have to stop their fullback, Newton County's fullback, and Newton County is going to have to stop the inside game of Heritage. So this is going to be an inside ball game. We've got a lot of rain out here, a wet field, and this is going to be exciting.
The kickoff is from the Heritage Patriots. The man kicking off is Kevin Chapelier. He's a senior, handling the kicking duties. And, man, has he got some serious shoes to fill as Dax Langley goes up to the University of Georgia. Chapelier is set to kick off. Back to receive for the Rams, Cordell Benton, Adrian Carr. Here's the kick. It squibs along the ground to the 33-yard line, and falling right on top of it, I believe, is Gary Brown. It'll be a 27-yard kick. No return. The Rams wisely fall on that one.
Good play there by Gary Brown. Has been foolish to try to pick it up and try to get some extra yardage. The ball was wet. The referees had the ball out there for at least 3 or 4 minutes before the guy kicked off, and I don't know if that was a planned kick or not, but good play there by the young sophomore Gary Brown.
Newton County gets a chance to start it. They'll do so from the 32-yard line, their own 32. Here's how the offense shapes up. Rams running the wishbone with the backfield. Jason Robbins, your fullback. Cordell Benton, Adrian Carr are your other two at the halfback position. They give this time to Benton up through the middle to the 38, 39-yard line and brought down there.
Good play there by the offensive line for Newton County. I was isolating on them, and they really moved the Heritage defensive front way back, and that's one of the things you want to get out of the way. The first hit, see what the guy next to you's got or across from you's got, and it looks like Newton County won that battle on the first snap.
Across the front line, T.J. Harper is your left tackle, Doug Parrish a left guard, Marcelo Baines at the center position, Torrance Brown at right guard, Courtney Williams right tackle, Richie Cleary your tight end, and Patrick Warren is the split end. He's on the far sideline from the press box. This handoff to the left side, Adrian Carr has a little running room to the 40, maybe in first down territory to the 45. Lee Gray, a defensive back, pushes him out of bounds.
Adrian's showing that good speed. The surface is still kind of dry. It's not as wet as it was 2 weeks ago, so hopefully Adrian maybe can get around the corner here early in this game, but it's not going to stay dry for very long.
The officials will place the ball at the 45-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain from Adrian Carr. And the first down of the night, the Rams have it as they slowly push up the field, which is fortunate given the circumstances here with the weather outside. Maddox over center. We've got 2 split ends this time, 1 to each sideline. Maddox gives the handoff to Jason Robbins. Robbins appears to be past midfield to the 49-yard line, a gain of at least 5 yards. And the Rams continue pushing onward.
Heritage is running a 4-0 defense. They got 4 down linemen, and they got 5 people behind them. And that's not really going to be able to, using that defense, I don't think that's going to be very successful stopping the inside game of Newton County.
2nd down and 4 for the Newton County Rams, splitting out to the far sideline. Patrick Warren So far in 3 plays, the Rams have gained 20 yards. I think it took them an entire half to gain almost 20 yards against Redan the first week of the season when they beat the Redan Raiders 3-0. A give on the delay to Adrian Carr. Carr to the 45 to the 40. He has a first down. 3 or 4 of the folks in the secondary bring him down, but again, Newton County continues to push it upfield. They're at the 40 and another first down.
You know, Kevin, this is the kind of drive that Coach Cook loves. Just keep it on the ground, goes straight between the tackles. They ran one time to the left on the corner with Adrian Carr, only gained a couple of yards, but all their success has been up the middle, and this is what Jack Cook wants to see from his team.
4 plays, 28 yards so far in the drive. The Rams staying with the wishbone offense. It's typical Jack Cook football, as you mentioned, just running it straight up the middle. Looking to stay away from the fumble, especially in the rain, where fumbles can be a serious problem. Robbins takes the handoff. He's to the 35-yard line. Pushed forward for a couple of yards. They had him at the 37, but he pushed forward and to the left. As you mentioned last week, he's looking upfield more, and I think it's helping him.
He's doing a good job, and it's got to be a horrible sight for a linebacker of Heritage size to look up and see a 6'2", 230-pound fullback coming straight at you. So I don't envy the linebackers at all tonight.
No score from Homer Sharp Stadium. Expect another low-scoring affair maybe. 9:02 left in the first quarter. Benton takes the handoff around the right side to the 30. He's down there. Possibly a first down.
We're seeing a lot of good running out of the Newton County's backs, but they can't do anything unless the line blocks, and the Newton County offensive line is doing a tremendous job on this drive and just going straight down the field, and they got enough on that last play to get a first down. So it's going to be Newton County's ball, first down on the Heritage 30-yard line.
It's the third down on the drive for the Rams. They started it at their own 32. They're now at the Heritage 30 and plodding ever onward. Marcelo Baines set to snap to Kareem Maddox on the 1st and 10 play for Newton County. Robbins takes the handoff. He's to the 20, still up, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Newton County Rams. 30 yards from Jason Robbins. Again, he keeps his head up, looks for the open field. He's dangerous when he keeps that head up. It's a touchdown for Newton County.
It's surprising speed there from Jason. He actually outran a couple of defensive backs on that play, and he's just so strong. The defensive backs just can't pull him down, and it's going to take several defenders for Heritage to bring him down, and no one was able to do it on that play. Big play for the Newton County Rams.
The drive goes 7 plays and a total of 68 yards, capped by the 30-yard touchdown run by Robbins. West Billingsley will be on to attempt the extra point to try to make it 7-0 Newton County. Here comes the snap from the center Baines. It's a good one. The hold is good. The kick is up, and it is good. And it's 7-0 Newton County leading Heritage here from Homer Sharp Stadium. We'll be back with more right after this. More exciting Newton County Rams football after this on WGFS AM 1430.
Have you noticed lately how many people are wearing pagers? It's incredible how popular pagers have become. No doubt the tremendous popularity of pagers is because a pager is one of the most reliable and economical ways to stay in touch. East Metro Paging offers reliable Motorola pagers, and basic coverage gives you all of the Metro Atlanta area, including Athens. Our extended coverage pager works in other major Georgia cities. East Metro Paging, your hometown paging company. Go by and see them today on Highway 278, a quarter-mile east of the hospital, or call them at 786-6796. East Metro Paging, a division of East Metro Communications, Incorporated.
Stadium in Covington, Georgia, where Newton County is leading Heritage 7-0. Back with your play-by-play, Kevin Holden.
And West Billingsley kicks it off. It's a line drive kick that goes right into the end zone and right back out the other side. West Billingsley has had a terrific year kicking. Yet another 60-yard kick and yet another touchback. And you got to wonder, that man has got to be attracting some college scouts the way he has kicked, especially on the kickoffs recently.
Well, actually, he won the game against Redan, the first game of the season, with a 3-0 victory, and that came from his leg. Plus, he's been doing a good job with his kickoffs and his punting, so there are people definitely going to be looking at him, maybe some of the smaller schools like Furman or Wofford, but he's definitely a prospect.
Well, it's good to have the extra yardage for the Patriots to make up, because they certainly have enough to make up that yardage. They send 2 wideouts to the near sideline. Brandon Gable is your quarterback, 2 running backs. This is a very potent offense. Gable is going to try to throw on first down. The pass is up. It is tipped and almost intercepted. The man who tipped the ball for the Rams, number 44.
Jamiko Usher.
Jamiko Usher tipped it. Gary Brown nearly intercepted that ball.
He's another one of the younger players that's coming in and filling in for Jason Robbins and the other linebackers when they get tired. And as we've called his name the first 3 weeks, we've both called his name several times, and he's doing a tremendous job filling in for the starters.
Gable kind of telegraphed that pass, showing well ahead of time he was going to throw, and Usher wisely seeing it and putting the hand up, and Gary Brown nearly picked it off. This time they'll go to the ground. Javon Sullivan has some room. He's at the 30, 35, 40. Look at that man go. 50, 40, 35, 30, 25. He falls at the 20-yard line. Man, that guy can fly, and he had the entire Newton County secondary chasing him up the far sideline. That's going to be a major gain.
He put a move on Torrance McCollum that left Torrance sitting there wishing he was somewhere else. He just put a fantastic move on him, especially on this wet field. It was a tremendous move, went streaking down the sideline. Luckily, number 45, James Jackson, and also Gary Brown was able to catch up to him, but a big gain there by the Heritage offense.
39 yards. They ruled him out at the 41-yard line. There's a break for the Rams. So it is a 39-yard gain. First down at the Newton County 41 with 8:13 left in the first quarter. Rams up by a touchdown, but the Patriots marching it down the field. Gable going out toward the right-hand side, being pursued. The pass is up, and the pass is going to be intercepted. It is an interception by Alex Watley, the cornerback, Newton County football. The pass was intended for Wes Herman, but intercepted.
Good job there by Alex Watley. Also, we had a lot of pressure on the quarterback coming from the middle of the defensive line. Marcelo Baines putting a lot of pressure and forced him to throw the ball a little bit quicker than he wanted to. Big play there by the Newton County defense, and they got to continue to come up with big plays just like that, especially after a team like Heritage goes down the field after a couple of successful runs. But those big plays just take a lot of life out of the offense when interceptions and other mishaps happen.
We've got to make one correction. The intended receiver was E.J. Johnson, but the pass was picked off by Watley. First down for the Rams now. They're at their own 15-yard line. So they stopped the Patriots at least on this one drive, but the Patriots show a fairly impressive first drive. Adrian Card takes it, is tackled at the 19-yard line. He is brought down there by Casey Mitchell, the big tight end who also doubles up on the defensive line.
And that's one of the things that Coach Lanny said earlier this week. He had a heart-to-heart talk with his team on Monday and said that he's going to find 11 people that want to play ball. And as you look out on the field, you see a lot of the players that play offense back out there on defense. So they're in the same kind of shape that Newton County is.
A lot of players playing both ways. We saw it from Mount Zion last week as well. Nearly their whole team plays on both sides of the football. Handoff goes to Cordell Benton. He is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. He's going to gain a couple of yards. He was falling backwards as he was hit the first time. That's the only way he gained positive yardage on the play.
And that's something that's really shown a lot of maturity out of Cordell over the last couple of weeks. Instead of twisting and turning, he's just keeping his feet moving and going downfield, north and south. And right there he proved that he struggled for 3 yards. It's going to bring up a third down and 1 yard situation.
Rams are on the 23 and some change yard line. A yard and some change to go for our first down. The Rams have 3 first downs already here in quarter number 1. Kareem Maddox will take the snap. Gives the handoff. Benton to the 31-yard line. There's a flag that could be a type of late hit or an unsportsmanlike against Heritage. There were 3 of them right on top of Cordell.
That was Patrick Gaither coming straight out of the backfield. Him and Cordell look a lot alike, but that was Patrick Gaither coming in at fullback, and looks like it's going to be a face mask against Heritage Patriots.
So it'll be an 8-yard gain from Gaither. Gaither sometimes comes in for Robbins at fullback, and the penalty against the Patriots moves the ball from the 31 on up to the 46-yard line, a 15-yard penalty for the face mask.
Those are the kind of penalties that just coaches hate to see. The runner was down. Patrick Gaither was down, and one of the defenders came in late and pulled on a face mask, and that's just something that will devastate a defensive team.
So now it's first down from the 46-yard line. The Patriots were looking to stop that Ram run. The Rams' shortest play so far from scrimmage has been 4 yards. They've only had that happen twice. Maddox fumbles the snap, now picks it up, has a little room to the 48-yard line. A gain of a yard, possibly two, looking for some room on the near sideline near his Newton County bench where Coach Jack Cook has seen Kareem Maddox kind of fumble with that snap.
Well, we saw that the first week against Redan. He had a couple of mistakes of throwing or pitching the ball late after he fumbled at the snap, but he's matured over the last couple of weeks, done a great job. He's not pitching the ball after he fumbles it. He's just getting the ball into a good position and tucking it under his arm and running for what he's worth, and he picked up a couple of yards there on that play.
Well, the Rams have run 11 plays from scrimmage, and surprise, surprise, not a single pass. That doesn't surprise too many people, and of course, in the rain, the Rams going to just try to keep it on the ground. Cordell Benton goes in motion, a little different set for the Rams this time as Gaither takes the football. He may have gotten past midfield, but not much farther.
When you run a tandem at fullback like Patrick Gaither, and then you run in Jason Robbins, that's something that really confuses.
Sharp Stadium in Covington. If you're coming out, bring an umbrella with you, but do come out and watch your Newton County Rams in action. Again, they go to a little different set. This time Adrian Carr goes in motion, and the pitch out that way to him. There's a flag in the backfield. Carr will go to the 45. I have a feeling they'll bring it all back.
Yeah, it's going to be legal procedure on Adrian Carr coming around. They was going to do a wide sweep with Adrian Carr in motion, and he actually stopped right there to try to catch up with Kareem Maddox, and they're going to have a legal procedure against Newton County. It's going to back them up 5 yards.
The ball was on the Heritage 49-yard line, so a 5-yard penalty on the illegal procedure. We'll put it back at Newton's 46-yard line.
One of the things we talked about with Coach Cook this morning, he says that his backs are not doing any juke and jiving anymore. They're running straight over people, and that's exactly what Adrian Carr did at the end of that play. Just actually ran straight over one of the Heritage players, Lee Gray. So Lee Gray's got number 5 imprinted in his chest right now.
So the Rams now in a third down and long yardage situation. We'll see if they try to pass the football. They're on their own 46. Maddox over Baines. Now the snap and the pass complete to the 45-yard line. They got the first down to the 40-yard line. Danny Cisco, a man who has had a tremendous impact for the Rams, despite the fact that he doesn't get his name called very much as a wide receiver, makes a big-time catch there in a third down situation.
Danny came up with a big catch there. He's only a junior. He 6'2", 177, so he's a big target at 6'2", and Kareem just set back 3 steps and hauled the ball out, and Danny caught it and brought it up to the Heritage 40-yard line, picked up a first down to contain or to help this drive continue.
14-yard gain on the pass, and it's the 5th time in this quarter that the Rams have picked up a first down. Now at the Heritage 40-yard line, and again, just plodding up the field. They started at their own 15. They have marched 45 yards already. Jason Robbins takes the football on first down and gains maybe a yard, probably not much more. Heritage line was all over that one, not a whole lot of blocking there.
That's another one of those two-way starters for Heritage, Bobby Perillo. He's a center on the offensive side of the ball, and he's a defensive tackle on the defensive side of the ball, and he had a big stick there on Jason Robbins. And whenever you hit someone that big and strong and back them up, that's saying something, and he did an excellent job on that play.
3 minutes and 16 seconds remain. The Patriots in what amounts now to a 6-man front. Gaither takes the handoff. He is perhaps to the 35-yard line. That'll be a gain of about 4 yards. Gaither kind of tripped those 4 yards, and it'll be a third down and long situation again.
Heritage's defense is starting to squeeze back down to try to cover the inside game, so look for Coach Cook to maybe go outside one time to see if he can loosen up that defense a little bit. And that's probably what we'll see in the next couple of plays.
And the man to do that, of course, would be Adrian Carr. That man has a tremendous amount of speed if he can hit the corner.
With the weather like it is tonight, he's just going to have to run for what he's worth. And the field still looks a little bit dry. It's not as soggy as we saw a couple of weeks ago.
The Rams seem to be the masters of the sustained drive. They can run time off the clock like nobody's business. And now we see a whistle and perhaps a flag on the play. It goes against the Rams.
It's going to be a delay of game, and Coach Cook took a little bit of time of getting Jason into the ball game, Jason Robbins with the play. So the players were out there waiting on a play and didn't have one, so it's not really the players' fault. We can blame that one on the sideline.
Well, earlier, after 2 short running plays, the Rams got penalized 5 yards, then picked up a first down. Here, after 2 short running plays, the Rams have been penalized 5 yards. Will they pick up the first down again? Is it deja vu all over again? We will see. Maddox will take the snap, and here comes a flag. We'll see what that one's about. I have a feeling it's another one against the Rams.
It's going to be offsides on Greg Benson, the tight end. He's a little bit eager to try to get his block, and he's a really quick young man. big, tall, lanky kind of a player, but he's trying to get a little head start, and Coach Cook is probably going to have a couple of words with him and bring him off to the sideline. That's one of the things that Coach Cook always does. When one of his players makes mistakes, he sits over there and counsels them for a little while.
Telly Smith and Richie Cleary have also come out to the sideline. We see Danny Cisco and Patrick Warren, both of whom are used almost exclusively at the split end position. Both of them are in the game, and here they are, each one splitting wide to either side. Kareem Maddox will have two potential targets here to throw to. 2 minutes, 26 seconds left. The Rams up by a touchdown. Maddox fumbles this one. The pass is going to go up, and it is caught by Danny Cisco. What a catch! The man reached about 2 feet over his body and behind him to make the catch at the 25, and not to take anything away from the play, but he really bailed Kareem Maddox out of that one.
He sure did. Kareem actually dropped the snap, picked the ball up, and just threw it for all he was worth. He threw it about 25 yards, and Danny Cisco turned around and came back to the ball and made a big reception for a first down. So deja vu happens again here at Homer Sharp Stadium in Covington, Georgia.
The clock soon will be under 2 minutes, and the Rams picking up 23 yards on the pass play. So they've run a couple of pass plays. They had a 25-yard touchdown pass last week, so we may see a little more passing out of that Ram team. Patrick Gaither takes the first down handoff, goes past the 20, perhaps to the 19-yard line, and we are under 2 minutes left to play.
I'm really impressed with Patrick Gaither. He's actually a tailback playing fullback, and he's running just like a fullback would, straight up the middle, hard-nosed, running over people, and he's actually in the tailback body where he wants to do a lot of juking and jiving and go to the outside, but Coach Cook has got him disciplined. He's running north and south, and that's exactly what you need out of your fullback.
This has been a very, very long, sustained drive. This will be the 11th play of the drive. Rams have covered almost the entire field. They've got 19 more yards to go. They started at their own 15-yard line in this drive. Maddox will take it and give it to Adrian Carr. Carr gets a little bit of blocking to the 15, to the 13, and out of bounds there. Taken out by number 32 for the Heritage Patriots, E.J. Johnson.
When you look at Adrian run around the side there, he's just so quick. He makes such quick moves, especially on a wet field like it is tonight, and that doesn't go unnoticed. A lot of people are noticing that. Coaches are noticing that. Fans may see, well, he's only picking up a couple yards, but he's very quick. He's making people miss, and he's going to explode hopefully tonight. If not, he's going to explode real soon.
That's 7 first downs for the Rams here in the first quarter. 1:14 exactly left to go. And the Rams are going to take a timeout. While they do, we are also going to take a timeout. More exciting Newton County Rams football. They're up 7-0. We'll be back after this on WGFS AM 1430.
Excuse me, sir. How did you fall in love with Pippin's Barbecue?
Oh, it's a tender love story. First, I went a-courting with an appetizer.
It must have been the hot wings.
Yep, then I got engaged to an entree.
The tender baby back ribs?
Yep, and now I'm a happily married man, although I have been known to flirt with dessert.
Our food and our service just can't be beat. You're gonna love what you eat.
Pippin's Barbecue, Highway 20 South in Conyers and on Alcovey Road in Covington.
Back live here at Homer Sharp Stadium with your play-by-play, Kevin Holden.
The Rams so far in this first quarter have picked up 141 total yards. They've gotten 37 of them in the air and 103 on the ground already, and in the rain. That is quite amazing. Paul, just describing the rain before the game, was a torrential downpour. It's not quite as heavy now, but the Rams have just gone right on through the rain and picked up over 100 yards rushing already.
Coach Cook said they worked real hard this week on the passing game, and it's very evident here tonight.
2 big third down completions. That's the sort of thing a winning team needs, something to bail them out on third down. On this play, Cordell Benton takes the handoff. He's past the 10 to the 8-yard line. Again, slowly moving up the field.
One of the things we haven't seen yet, Kevin, is a fumble. We saw an interception earlier in the quarter. We haven't seen a fumble from either the Newton County or Heritage. Heritage's offense has only been on the field just for a little while, but Newton County's running backs are doing an excellent job of covering the ball, and that's another thing Coach Cook said he worked really hard on this week, is making sure his backs hold on to the ball.
Rams will try to pad that 7-0 lead, another 9 yards, and they put at least another 6 points on the scoreboard. The center, Marcelo Baines, in his stance, ready to give the ball to Kareem Maddox. Jason Robbins will take the handoff. Robbins stopped at the 6-yard line. The entire Heritage defense right there on top of him, so 1/11 of a tackle for each of 11 guys on the field.
And it takes about 11 people to take Jason Robbins down. It's just so strong. He's worked so hard the last 4 years getting himself built up. I remember when he came in as a freshman, he was just a little guy. He had a lot of ability to get size, but he's worked so much over the summer to get stronger, and he's done a great job. I talked to Philip Benton. He plays for the University of Georgia. He said Jason's got great work ethics, and he's doing a tremendous job of working in the offseason. It's paying off here tonight.
And that'll be the last play the Rams will get off here in the first quarter. It'll be third down from the 6-yard line when we come back to begin your second quarter. The Rams are ahead 7-0 over your Heritage Patriots, and we'll bring you your second quarter coming up here on WGFS AM 1430.
East Metro Communications is your local authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular, and we have been since 1986. That's right, 1986. That's when cellular service first came to Covington. So if you're shopping for a cellular phone or cellular phone accessories, stop by East Metro Communications and see Brenda, Tom, Bert, or Joe, and let them show you the wide selection of brand-name cellular phones available. When you purchase a cellular phone from East Metro Communications, our main goal is customer satisfaction. We've received 12 different awards from AirTouch Cellular for outstanding performance. Stop by East Metro Communications today. We're located on Highway 278, just a quarter mile east of the hospital here in Covington, or call us at 786-6796. East Metro
Carroll's Floor Covering of Covington has everything you need for covering any floor in your home: carpet, vinyl, tile, or hardwood. With 35 years experience, interior designer available. Custom work is our specialty. We're not the largest, just the nicest. Carroll's Floor Covering is inviting you to come by and take a look at the many samples we have in stock to choose from. Carroll's Floor Covering, located at 1393 Access Road in Covington. 786-7700, 786-7700.
Welcome back to the second quarter of action. 7-0 Rams, third down from the 6-yard line of the Heritage Patriots. Maddox finds a little room on the left side, but Heritage closes that gap in a major hurry. There was some room there, and all of a sudden, nada, and Maddox may have gotten a yard.
That was really a bad decision on Kareem's part, and he had Adrian going wide with him, running to the left side of the ball field, and Adrian had no one out there guarding him, and a really bad decision there by Kareem, but you expect those kind of mistakes early in the season, and it's going to bring on Wes Billingsley. He's going to try a short little field goal here.
Fourth down from the 4-yard line. That'll make it a 21-yard attempt for Wes Billingsley. This is a man who made a 42-yard field goal to beat the Redan Raiders a couple of weeks ago, but it shows that Jack Cook may not have quite as much faith in his offense right now, playing the conservative way and going for the field goal.
Well, the way the defense is playing, this is a really good decision on Coach Cook's part. Just go ahead and try to get the 3 points and be ahead 10-0.
Here comes the snap. It is a good one. The hold is good. The kick is up, and it is no good. It was wide to the right side. So Billingsley, after making the 42-yarder, misses here from 21, and the Rams retain the 7-0 lead. And we will be back with more exciting Newton County Rams football right after this on WGFS AM 1430.
Don't horse around with your choice of feed. FRM horse feeds are a proper balance of protein and nutrients with a blend of rich grains and protein meals, cane molasses, vitamins and minerals. FRM horse feeds promote sleek, shiny coats and plenty of energy. FRM horse feeds and minerals. Available now at your FRM dealer.
That's the Farm and Garden Depot of Covington, located at 4125 Emory Street, 787-3870.
Back live here at Homer Sharp Stadium, a wet Homer Sharp Stadium. Back to your play-by-play, Kevin Holden.
The Heritage Patriots sprint to the line of scrimmage, trying to draw Newton County into some type of strange defense. Here comes Brandon Gable handing off. The handoff to the right side to the 25, maybe the 26-yard line. A couple of Rams bring him down. Heritage just sprinted up there as fast as they could, but then took their sweet time in handing the ball off. And when they did, they handed it off to Vino Gibson, a junior running back.
One of the things that I'm really surprised with Newton County is Jason Robbins, the full-time fullback, which is usually a full-time linebacker, is not in there. And that's probably because of the play of Jamaico Usher. They're trying to give Jason a breather on the sideline, and Jamaico's doing a good job.
Two wide receivers out to the left side for the Patriots. They also have two backs, and here comes another flag. Lots of hankies on the field in the first half. We've had another illegal procedure against Heritage.
That's going to be on Chad Fry, sophomore. Actually, he's a junior for the Heritage Patriots. So you got a little anxious there to try to get across those quick Newton County defensive linemen, and got caught there by the referees.
And so the penalty goes 5 yards against the Heritage Patriots. Gives them 20 penalty yards so far here in the first half. And it'll be second down, but instead of the 26-yard line, it'll be from the 21. And after the 6-yard run, they have 9 to go now for a first down. The give toward the left-hand side and about a 5-yard gain for Heritage as Newton County trips the man right past the line of scrimmage. He falls for the remainder. It's Javon Sullivan who gained those yards.
What Heritage is doing, Heritage is running a straight veer. They're bringing 2 wide receivers to open up the defense a little bit, and they're running a veer right off tackle on the left side there. Very successful. They picked up about 5 yards, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5 on their own Heritage 25-yard line.
Gable once again will go over center. The 6-man offensive line, the give toward the near sideline. Javon Sullivan to the 34. That's a first down for the Patriots. Sullivan looks like he's going to be a tough man for the Rams to bring down.
He's got a lot of speed and a lot of quickness. He reminds me a lot of Adrian Carr. Got some of the same moves. Actually, they're built just alike. Adrian's got to be a little bit quicker because he won the state combines this past year. Him and Cordell Benton had the quickest times. But Javon Sullivan is definitely a quick back to contend with.
So far, Javon Sullivan has a total of 52 yards. The Patriots as a team, 58. So Sullivan's been the big part of their offense so far in the first half. Once again, the give, this time to Gibson for a couple of yards straight up the middle. The Rams stop it in a hurry.
Heritage's offensive line is doing a good job of moving the defensive line from Newton County off the ball. Earlier in the game, we saw the Newton County defensive line winning that battle, but right now on this drive, Heritage is winning the battle up front. Hopefully Newton County can tighten up and regain that edge of winning the battle on the scrimmage line.
4-yard gain for Vino Gibson. 2nd down and 6 yards to go. Michael Gladson splitting wide out toward the Heritage sideline. The give, this time Gable keeps it himself. We see a flag. Gable is at the 48-yard line. He's brought down there. But the hanky is spotted at the 37. We'll see what it is.
That came out on the wide side of the field. What's that's going to be an illegal block? One of the wide receivers did a little crackback block, and you can't do that in high school. And Heritage is going to be caught for this. And it's going to back them up probably 10 or 15 yards on the illegal block.
The call does go against the Heritage Patriots. The ball is resting on the 49-yard line.
What I saw was I saw the wide receiver come down and doing a crackback on the linebacker. They got away with that one, but they did not get away with the illegal procedure, and that's going to back them up 5 yards.
So starting from the 38, they'll back it up 5 to the 33-yard line. And the Patriots 2nd down. And this time they will have a good 11 or 12 yards to go for the first down. It'll be 25 penalty yards against the Patriots. There have been a lot of illegal procedures, other types of penalties like that. Kind of surprising. I guess the rain is having a psychological effect on both teams. Gable goes over center, ready to go. This time splitting out as a wideout is E.J. Johnson, who doubles up as a linebacker. And once again, here comes another hanky, and I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it's against Heritage on some type of illegal procedure.
Yeah, the referees didn't even look at each other. The guy, the umpire, which is actually right behind the linebackers, just grabbed the ball and walked off 5 yards. I really don't understand what Heritage is, what they're having a problem with. I don't know if the snap count's not loud enough. It's definitely not the noise because we don't really have a full house here for it to be noise. Maybe the offensive line is just trying to get a quick start against a quick defensive lineman for Newton County.
Sometimes you can work so hard at being too fancy that you can end up with that sort of thing happening, and we've seen several of those calls here in the first quarter and the second quarter. So once again, Gable will try it. This time he gives to Gibson. Gibson to the 30-yard line. The Rams stop him there, and here's going to be 3rd down and long yardage situation. You force Brandon Gable to more than likely pass in the situation, but Gable is a man who can handle that.
That's exactly right. On that last play, Jason Robbins was back in at linebacker, and he's one of the players where you just got to have him in there. He's so strong. He stuffs up the middle. He makes all the other players even better. They're just doing a tremendous job. Richie Cleary did a wonderful job there of closing down that play, and Heritage is going to be 3rd and long again.
3rd down and 14 yards for a first down here for the Heritage Patriots. And here comes Brandon Gable toward the left sideline. He's looking to pass. It is up and incomplete. Gable threw the ball wide of his intended receiver, who wears number 4. That's Kevin Chapelier.
That was really a desperation kind of throw there. They had a lot of pressure coming from Kevin Johnson up the middle. They had a little blitz on, Newton County did, and Brandon Gable had to throw it a little bit quicker than he wanted to. And that's really a tough pass, sweeping out to your left, and he's a right-handed quarterback, and he's throwing to the right. And that's one of the toughest passes a quarterback has to make, and that one was just not on the mark.
4th down on a country mile. Credit the attempted misdirections of the Heritage offense as they rack up 10 penalty yards, and they are going to have to punt. The punt from the Heritage kicker, Shandy King, goes off and is fielded at the 41 by Cordell Benton, and he will go down on one knee, and that'll be the end of that.
Good play there by Cordell. He had a very high punt there by the Heritage kicker, and Cordell could only just wave his arms and hopefully catch the ball on a wet night tonight, and he did exactly what he needed to do, and it's going to put Newton County in a really good field position. They're going to have it 1st and 10 on their own 40-yard line.
On the 40, the Rams will have a first down at 7:08 left in the second quarter. The Rams will once again start this drive. This is their 3rd drive of the game. They eat up a ton of territory every time they touch the football. They've got it at their own 40 here. First give is to Robbins. Goes to the 45, still running over some folks to the 49-yard line. He plowed through about 3 men from the Heritage defense.
I tell you, we just say it over and over again, but he's got such tremendous strength and he's got such straightforward running that, that's what you want out of your fullback. And the defensive backs and the linebackers from Heritage just hadn't learned how powerful he is, and they're just getting ran over. And I'm sure Coach Landry's going to have a talk with his defense at halftime, but right now Jason and the other tailbacks, Adrian and Cordell, are doing a fine job back there.
Rams' first drive, they scored a touchdown. There has been no scoring since, so it is 7-0 Newton County. Maddox fumbles the snap. Hopefully he still has the football. We'll see which way it goes. Maddox just had a bad snap from center. It's happened 3 or 4 times so far tonight. Maddox doesn't have the football, but one of the other Rams, I believe, recovered it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He's having a tough time getting the handoff from Marcelo Baines. Maybe it's the ball because it's wet, but the referees are doing a good job of exchanging the ball after each play. The rain is actually just to a minimum now. So you really can't blame that on the ball or the weather. You really just those guys got to work a little bit better of getting that exchange a little bit better on the handoff.
So far in 9 quarters and some change, this Ram defense has allowed 2 touchdowns, and that's it. They shut out the number 10 Redan Raiders, and they are doing the same to the Patriots. They give to Jason Robbins for a couple of yards and nothing more.
I tell you what, it's 3rd down in short yardage, and who you go to Jason Robbins, the strong fullback. He was stopped there at the line of scrimmage, and what does he do? Second effort, a lot of heart, and he drags the pile for a first down. So big play there by the senior fullback.
The Rams needed a yard and some change, and Jason Robbins got a yard and some change. So
Jason's doing a good job. He's always taking his helmet when he comes to the sideline. That's always a slick move to let everybody know what you look like.
He'll be good for the photographers for the newspapers and other media. The pitch goes out toward the left side. Adrian Carr takes it, jukes by one man to the 45, to the 40, 35, and out of bounds before the 30-yard line. In fact, they may rule him down a little farther back. He ran out of bounds at about the 34.
The referee there standing on the 34-yard line, but Adrian, he's just going to explode. I mean, any time he's going to explode. And he's been very hampered by injuries last year, the wet weather this year, but he's going to explode. He's got so much quickness. I guarantee there's not a cornerback in this region that can tackle him one-on-one. He's just that quick, and he's got that many moves, and he's just an outstanding running back.
Another first down for the Newton County Rams. 9 first downs. That's 9. Here so far in the first half. Back to the wishbone for Jack Cook and his Ram team. A pitch this time to Benton. One good block for him, but a couple other folks come in from the Heritage defense and stop him for about a 2-yard loss. He got one good block, but couldn't reach the outside before he was brought down.
Well, I'm sure Cordell and Adrian are talking to each other. Cordell probably said something like, Adrian, I just blocked for you on the play before this, and Adrian, he didn't do a good job of blocking there for Cordell, so those two are probably talking to each other, but they're real good friends. Adrian's going to have to do a little bit better of blocking on that wide sweep. That's his responsibility, and he just didn't do it on that play.
5:17 remaining. The Rams again looking to pad that 7-point lead. Your split end to the right side, Patrick Warren. Danny Cisco not in the action, but when he's there, he's made some things happen tonight. Gaither takes the handoff to the 30-yard line. Several of the Heritage defenders there, and now they finally bring him down. He was almost down one time, but stood up and began to run toward the right sideline, toward the near sideline, and finally brought down.
The referee's going to spot it there on the 30.5-yard line. it's still going to bring up third and about 5 or 6 yards for Newton County. So they bring back in their fullback, Jason Robbins. Look for something here to go wide, maybe to Adrian on the left side, maybe straight up the middle with Jason Robbins to move the pile.
This is the 5th time that the Rams have had a third down situation. They've converted 4 out of 4 so far with a third down situation. That includes some 3rd and long. They've got 3rd and 6 here. Marcelo Bain snaps it to Maddox, who fumbles it, now hands it off to Benton, and he's got the first down. He's at the 20, still running, 15, 10, 5, see you later, touchdown, Newton County Rams. Cordell Benton was down, kept that head up. You don't give up. That's the key thing when you're one of those backs, and that is a touchdown for the Rams.
It seems like every time Newton County fumbles the snap, Kareem Maddox and Marcelo Baines have a little bit of trouble. Something good results, and that's exactly what happened on the long pass play to Danny Cisco, and that's exactly what happened right here on this play with Cordell Benton going down the field. And he actually had a lot of second effort and a lot of heart, and he got in there, and that touchdown is all heart.
The extra point attempt by Wes Billingsley, a man who can now atone, at least partially, for the missed field goal a little earlier on in this ball game. Here comes the snap. It is a little bit bad, but the hold is good, and the kick is up, and it is also good. 14-0 Rams, your score, and we're going to be back with more exciting Newton County Rams football right after this on WGFS AM 1430.
Fortunately, people don't always tell the truth, and most of the time a deal that seems too good to be true probably is. Lately, there are a lot of people in the cellular phone business, and you want to deal with a company that's reliable, dependable, and most importantly, experienced. In this area, that's easy. East Metro Communications, an authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular, can help you choose a phone and monthly rate that's right for you. East Metro Communications stocks a large selection of mobile, portable, and transportable cellular phones and accessories. They're located on Highway 278, just a quarter mile east of the hospital here in Covington. Or call them at 786-6796. Authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular, the new name for Pactel.
Exciting news here from Homer Sharp Stadium, where the Newton County Rams are leading the Heritage Patriots 14-0 with 4 minutes and 13 seconds left. Back with your play-by-play, Kevin Holden.
Thank you very much, Paul Dailey. Back to receive Javon Sullivan. Wes Billingsley will be the kickoff man for the Newton County Rams. No sighting of Tony Dow or Jerry Mathers, as the Beaver will check for you at halftime. And once again, he boots it right out the back of the end zone on one hop. 60 yards and a touchback. Wes Billingsley has done it again.
Tell you what, Wes is probably not going to really want to kick off anymore. Every time he runs and kicks the ball out of the end zone, he's got 2 Heritage linemen coming up to meet him. And Wes is not probably one of the biggest players on Newton County's team, but he's hitting both the players for all it's worth. And what you want your kicker there to do is just kick the ball and lay back a little bit. You don't want him to get hurt because he's got a fantastic leg, and we're going to need him the rest of the season.
So Heritage will have 4 minutes and 13 seconds to try to score, down by 2 touchdowns. And they'll start it on their own 20-yard line, and Gable will start by handing the ball off to Vino Gibson, who gained maybe 2 or 3 yards straight up the middle, but the Ram defense closed it in a hurry.
Newton County's defense is doing a wonderful job. Kevin Johnson and Jason Robbins is in there. Both of them just stuck up the middle. They stopped the fullback, and Heritage just, they got to be frustrated. The coaching staff over there has got to be frustrated. Nothing's working. The only thing they've really been successful on is the corner, and we haven't seen it happen again, so look for that to come in the near future.
If the Rams can hold on, they'll go to 3-0 for the first time since 90, and if they can win next week, they'll be 4-0 for the first time since your senior year, Paul, 1981. Brandon Gable is going to keep it himself, and he gains a couple of yards on the play. Looked like a botched handoff there.
It was a botched handoff, and that's Newton County was very lucky because Javon Sullivan was coming around the side, and there was no one out here to guard him. So if Brandon Gable would have got that pitch off, that would have been about 80-yard touchdown for Heritage.
3 minutes, 12 seconds. Once again, that Ram defense strong here at home. They have yet to give up a single point at home in almost 6 quarters of action, and on the road they only gave up the 2 touchdowns to Mount Zion while scoring a total of 29 points. Gable is going to go toward the sideline, the far sideline, and keep it himself. He has a first down, pushes hard to the 33-yard line. At the very end there, he was about to be brought down. He put his helmet right into the gut of the man who was covering him and pushed him another 2 yards back.
That's one of the things you don't really expect out of a quarterback. If you're about to tackle a quarterback, you want to hit him real hard, maybe punish him a little bit. But actually, Brandon Gable is the one that delivered punishment there, and the Newton County Ram player is still down.
Again, as we mentioned, the the Rams will look to move to 3-0. And if they can win next week, they will go into Winder Barrow, starting their region schedule at 4-0. There's a timeout on the field, an official's timeout, as there is a player down near the Heritage sideline. Can't tell if that is a Heritage player or a Newton County player, Paul.
It is a Newton County player. It's actually the one that got ran over by Brandon Gable. Probably got the wind knocked out of him, probably maybe a little bit of embarrassment, but I think he'll be fine. He's talking with the coaches. Newton County's defense is doing a good job, but Heritage's success has gone around the corner, and Brandon Gable had an excellent fake on that last play. He ran a fake to the counter, threw Newton County's defense off guard, and turned around and ran like a naked bootleg and picked up the first down. So big play there by Brandon Gable.
You take away that first run from the Patriots, which was Javon Sullivan, and on that run he got 39 yards. That was the first play in which the Patriots gained any type of positive yardage. They had an incomplete pass before that, but since that 39-yard run, the Ram defense has done a terrific job stopping the run. The Patriots haven't tried to pass here in the second quarter, and so far they have only gained a total of 37 yards rushing, and that is on 8 carries.
That's exactly right. Newton County's defense is doing a tremendous job. They're doing things that work for them. They're doing their responsibilities. Everyone's doing their assignments. And we talk about Mount Zion getting 2 touchdowns last week. Actually, one of those touchdowns, it was a fluke. It was a flea flicker, one of those things at the last part of the ball game. So, and Newton County had some substitutes in there. So actually, the starting defense has only given up really 7 points if you take away that fluke touchdown by Mount Zion.
The player is still down on the field. He's being tended to by...
Ask for the motor oil that's tested tough. So tough it puts it in writing. The motor oil is Quaker State, and Charles Evans Nissan has it. Go to Charles Evans Nissan today and see a copy of Quaker State's tough new lubrication limited warranty. It will give your new car the extra protection you're looking for. Only one tough motor oil could make a guarantee this tough, but Quaker State is one tough motor oil.
If you bury your nose in a cloud of sawdust and breathe deep, you're going to get choked up. Unless you're the new Husqvarna 36 chainsaw with air injection, now available at Coast to Coast Home and Auto. Husqvarna's air injection saws run up to 20 times cleaner than other saws. So save yourself money on filters and on a great versatile saw by checking out this new Husky today at Coast to Coast Home and Auto on the Square in Covington. And keep your nose clean.
If it involves sports and you need it, take your need to Lutie Sports Shop and Trophies, 787-3014. They've got a fine selection of baseball and football cards. For your favorite teams, they have T-shirts, caps, and sportswear. And they also make trophies. It's all under one roof at Lutie Sports Shop in the Newton Plaza Shopping Center in Covington. 787-3014. Lutie Sports Shop, 787-3014.
Back live here in Covington, Georgia, where the Newton County Rams are leading the Heritage Patriots 14-0. Still got a player down on the field. Back with the play-by-play, Kevin Holden.
We're not going to speculate as to who it is because, quite simply, we don't know who it is that's out there, but it is one of the Newton Ram players. They have dismissed the players from both teams onto the sidelines, and they're going to bring a stretcher on and take this man off the field. So hopefully this young man will be okay after a night or two of rest, and hopefully will be in good shape and not injured.
This is one of the things you really hate to see. You hate to see the stretcher coming out there, but nowadays the EMT people are so precautious about what they do, it may not really be that serious of a problem, but they're not going to take any chances, and the emergency medical team from Newton County is going to take the player off the sideline, and as soon as we get any information, we'll pass it along.
So they're going to take that young man off the field. Next week, the Rams will take on the Lithia Springs Lions over at Lithia Springs. Promises to be a big-time matchup, and I'll be joined with the broadcast play-by-play by Bill Dolan. He'll be there for the 23rd and also for the 30th. It'll be the Rams and Winder Barrow Bulldogs that's Bulldogs with 2 G's, in the season opener or the sub-region opener. For both teams, the Winder Barrow Bulldogs, their first game within the sub-region in 8 Quad A South. You've got to know all the folks in that community are excited about that, and it's the Rams that they're playing, so it should be a good matchup.
Football in Winder Barrow is kind of like Hulkamania, going wild. They love football in Winder Barrow. One of my former coaches here at Newton County is one of the assistants up there, Coach Jeff Beggs. He was a big part of my life the 4 years I played for Newton County. I'm really going to miss not seeing that game in a couple of weeks against Winder Barrow. I'm going to be traveling to Indiana next week against Lithia Springs. I'll miss that game also. One of my really good friends is getting married, and I'd like to take this time to wish congratulations to Stan Edwards, who's marrying Miss Leslie Coley, and they're a fine couple, and I'm sure that they'll have a fine marriage.
Well, congratulations to Stan, and we'll be missing you for 3 weeks, as a matter of fact, because you'll miss Lithia Springs plus Winder Barrow, and then immediately afterwards the Rams have their off week on the 7th, but then you'll be back for the next game here at Homer Sharp Stadium, which is way on out on the horizon, October 14th, the Rockdale Bulldogs and homecoming.
Well, I guarantee you one thing, next Friday night when you and Bill Dolan are doing the Lithia Springs game, I'll be tuning in because I don't want to miss any minute possible for Newton County football. They're doing such a great job, and Newton County Ram football is so exciting. It was a big part of my life. We just hope that Newton County continues to win, that the community is going to get behind them, and that's one thing that Newton County is lacking in their football community is just not a whole lot of support, and the only way to win support is to win, and we've seen that with the Atlanta Braves. The Atlanta Braves could hardly get anybody in the Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, and once they start winning, you can't get a ticket now. And the same thing's going on here in our community with Newton County football. But Coach Cook is doing a tremendous job, and we're really proud of him. And we're proud of the football players that dedicate all of their time after school to go out there and get hit and banged up. And I saw an interesting stat last night. I was listening to a program that said 95% of all high school dropouts are students who are not participating in extracurricular activities. And that's a sign that these kids have made a commitment not only to school but also to football. So parents who are out there listening, encourage your kids to get involved in extracurricular activities. It don't have to be football. It doesn't have to be baseball. It can be band. It can be anything. But that was a very interesting stat to read, that 95% of all high school dropouts are students who are not involved in anything after school.
And I think a lot of that may have to do with when a person gets involved in extracurricular activities, they meet a lot of folks, they gain a lot of friends, and they really then have a reason to come to school, if nothing else. Of course, you're looking to learn, but you're also there to talk to your friends and continue your camaraderie.
That's one of the things we teach with the DARE program. We teach them to get involved, and that's something that's very important to young kids because there's a lot of temptations out there to do different things. And some of these football players have told me that a lot of kids make fun of them because they go out there and play football and they're getting banged up, and that's something that these guys made a big commitment. And as we're still talking, the medical team is still working on the player on the far side of the field. They're working to get him on the stretcher, and we still don't have a number. We don't want to speculate, but that's what they're still working on.
That's exactly right. We wouldn't want to cause any type of false panic for anyone's family who might be listening, so we don't know exactly who it is that's on there, but they do have him immobilized on the backboard, and they're going to have him on the stretcher shortly and then off the field. We'll then continue with Ram football action. 2 minutes and 50 seconds left in the second quarter. It's 14-0 Newton County. Their first touchdown came with 8:28 left in the first quarter. The Rams started at their own 32-yard line. They drove 68 yards on 7 carries. It was capped by the 30-yard touchdown run from Jason Robbins. Then in their second drive, the Rams started at their own 15, ate up about 7 or 8 minutes worth of clock. They gained all the way to the Heritage 4. Wes Billingsley on for the 21-yard field goal attempt. Well, he missed that one. But then on the next drive, the Rams, starting at their own 40, gained 60 yards and scored the second touchdown. And they've got the man on the stretcher and about to take him off the field. The EMS truck is out beyond the goalpost here at Homer Sharp Stadium on the far side. They'll be ready to take him on.
Initial reports from the announcer here at the stadium says Gary Brown. I don't really see number 3 on the sideline, so it very well may be. But one thing I wanted to let everybody know, the EMT people take very specific precautions about any type of injury. So if a player is complaining about a neck or maybe a shoulder, the first thing those EMT guys are going to do is put that person or that player on a stretcher, try to prevent any movement. So hopefully we're not going to see a very, very bad injury to Gary Brown, but he's definitely going to be missed by this defensive team here in the second quarter.
Gary Brown took a vicious hit from Brandon Gable, and that probably would do something to the psychology of a man like Brandon Gable. You've just knocked a man out like that, and that's really not a pleasant thing, even if you're the man who put the hit on the guy. That's the last thing in the world you want to see.
That's exactly right. And this may fire him up, but I'm sure back in the back of his mind he's really concerned about the player.
So while Gary Brown is on the stretcher and being led away, we're going to continue from the 33-yard line. The handoff, Vino Gibson will take it. He is past the 40 to the 41-yard line. It's a first down and 10-yard situation. The run from Gibson will make it second and about 2, maybe 3.
Well, when Gary Brown goes off the field there in the EMT ambulance, you bring in the substitute, and who you got? You got one of the quickest players in the state of Georgia with Adrian Carr. He comes in and takes Gary's place, and he's a fine substitute.
The Rams are deeper on defense than they have been in previous years. It's really shown in their point performances so far in the first couple of weeks. The handoff and nothing there. The Ram defensive line all over it. Maybe a gain of a yard, maybe 2. Actually, the referee's out at the 45-yard line, so good running from Javon Sullivan because he had nothing, turned it into a first down.
That's right. He had absolutely nothing there and took a couple of steps, drove the pile, and got a real good spot there by the official, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Heritage Patriots on their own 45-yard line.
You got 1 minute and 51 seconds left in the half to do any kind of damage here. 55 yards to cover. A pass is up and incomplete, intended for Kevin Chapelier. It was tipped. Didn't see who tipped it, but it was incomplete.
I think James Jackson tipped the ball, number 45, and got the ball offline. And Alex Watley was doing a good job there of covering the intended receiver, and Adrian Carr was back there also for some secondary help.
So the incomplete pass stops the clock. That's another advantage of having your passing attack. When you have that in the 2-minute drill, as they call it, an incomplete pass will stop that clock and give you a little bit of extra time, if nothing else. Gable takes the snap from center. He takes it himself and is stuffed behind the line of scrimmage.
There he is
defense
again.
All over it.
There he is again, Kevin. I call his name every time, and it's Marcelo Baines again. He's so quick. Man, he's just so quick right there in the middle of the ball field. He has to guess a little bit because he's so small, but he's so quick, and that's exactly we've seen him doing. All last year we saw him do it the first 2 games of this year. He's just so quick, and he grabbed Brandon Gable and drug him down before the play could get started.
Here's a 3rd down and 14 yards to go. Biggest play so far in the half for the Rams, leading by 2 touchdowns. Gable will look to pass. The pass is up and incomplete, intended for Chapelier, but Gable never got a good handle on the ball.
Never really got a good handle. The ball's probably wet. I think the wide receiver Chapelier was a little bit confused because he had a chance to catch that ball, and he wasn't really covered by anybody, and he thought the ball was going to someone else, and it actually dropped right there in front of him. So he's a little bit confused, and the coaches are probably trying to straighten out that confusion at this time.
Punting situation here for the Heritage Patriots, and Shandy King will be the man who is going to be punting here for Heritage. And Cordell Bench and Adrian Carr both back to receive. Here's the punt. It's a high one, kind of like a knuckleball. It bounces at the 35, takes a Heritage bounce beyond the 30, and it'll be touched at the 28-yard line. So that is a punt of 31 yards and no return.
Good kick there by the Heritage kicker. The punter, he did a good job of getting the ball downfield. He kicked the ball so high that it really didn't have any chance for anyone to return. So this is going back Newton County up, probably in their poorest field position all night on their own 28-yard line.
First down for the Rams. They're going to be on their own 28-yard line. Under a minute now left to go, 55 seconds. Will the Rams just sit on the football? We've seen them do it in the last couple of weeks when they're so deep. Maddox may just go down on one knee. We'll see what happens. Baines will snap it to Maddox. And he is going to look toward the right sideline. He's got a little bit of room to the 30, to the 35, and out of bounds. A couple of folks bring him out of bounds there. Lee Gray and Dustin Hodges both take Kareem Maddox out on the Newton County sideline.
The coaching staff of Newton County is screaming for a late hit, and they got good cause to scream because one of the Heritage players was a little bit over-aggressive there on the sideline and hit Kareem out of bounds. And Coach Cook is having a casual conversation with the line judge here. Also, the defensive coordinator, Kevin Binky, is sitting there wearing a couple of his ears out. But Newton County is going to have the ball second and about 5 yards on the 35-yard line.
38 seconds left. Being pushed out of bounds helps, but it also hurts the Rams. And Maddox this time is going to just go down on one body. He didn't necessarily go down on one knee. I think he may have fumbled that handoff, and it'll run just the same as him going down on one knee. But it's been a little bit scary at times with him back there tonight.
Usually when you have a trouble with your handoff from your center to your quarterback, you spend a little bit of time on the sideline to correct that problem. But Marcelo Baines, he don't have a lot of time to come to the sidelines because he's on defense. So hopefully they can work to that in halftime and get that corrected.
Loss of one. Third down situation. 10 seconds left. The Rams will probably have time for one more play. And what will happen here is Maddox will take the snap and go down on one knee, and that'll do it for the first half of action. So Kareem Maddox carries the ball 3 times. And that's the end of quarter number 2. Newton County leads at 14-0. Another successful game as the Rams look to move to 3-0 for the first time in 4 years as they lead the Patriots. 2 touchdowns here at halftime. Plenty coming up for you on the halftime show. We'll be talking about a special benefit coming up on the 8th of October at Little Philly's Restaurant. You'll hear the details about that. You'll also hear the Big Dogs picks. That's Paul Dailey. He'll be telling you about his college action, and hopefully he'll have a little better record this time out than last week. Back with more after this on WGFS AM 1430.
Customers.
Look, I don't know if I have one more in me.
You see, it seems they view our mouth-watering selection of 40 breakfast items as a challenge.
Oh, it is.
One look at all that freshly prepared food available at one low price, and they want it all at once.
Well, maybe one more time.
But there's only one way to get everything on a breakfast bar at once.
Here goes. Pancakes, scrambled eggs, bacon, breakfast potatoes, cheese sauce, sausage, cinnamon toast sticks.
And even that takes practice.
Fresh fruit and grits. Did I get it all?
Well, you forgot sticky buns again.
Oh, no. All right, here we go. One more time. Pancakes.
Shoney's all-you-care-to-eat breakfast bar. With so much to choose from, maybe we should call it all you dare to eat.
And sticky buns. Boy, that's a mouthful.
And remember, Wednesday night is family night at Shoney's. Kids 12 and under eat free off the kids menu. Limit 2 per adult meal purchase only at Shoney's.
With free financing and free delivery, you really need to come by Hayes Furniture and check out these new items. Hayes Furniture has 9x12 Oriental rugs, 7-foot Oriental runners in a variety of colors and styles, assorted brass, crystal, and glass lamps. Hayes also carries a wide selection of Bassett and Vaughn furniture. Hayes Furniture has something for everyone and every room in your home. So come by Hayes Furniture, located at 6166 Washington Street in Covington, 786-3737.
You know, a lot of national chain stores that offer building materials look more like a high-tech supermarket than a lumber store. Well, at Campbell Lumber Company, they use a little less computer and a lot more one-on-one personal attention. After all, that's the way Campbell Lumber Company's been doing business for years, so why fix it if it ain't broke? Why, even if it was broke, Campbell Lumber Company has probably got what it takes to fix it. 4112 Emory Street Northwest in Covington.
We are back from Homer Sharp Stadium here in Covington, Georgia, where it is good news if you're a Newton County Ram fan. It is 14-0 Newton after the first half of play. We'll give you your stats of the first half and talk a little bit about the first half of action. It's been pretty much all positive if you are a Ram supporter, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. But first, we've got something very special coming up on October the 8th, and here to talk about it, a man who is going to be on the mic doing some football here in the near future, Bill Dolan. Bill, it's coming up October the 8th at Little Phillies. Give us all the details and what we need to know.
Okay, I sure will, Kevin. You and I are teaming up with Tim Hires as we try to strike out diabetes. That's the name of the event. We're trying to raise some money for the Juvenile Diabetes Foundation. On October the 8th, from 11 to 1, we're going to be over there. The radio station will be broadcasting live from the scene, talking to some people, giving you a chance to be on the radio if you're out there. Tim Hires is going to be there. He has graciously consented. He's donating his time. He's going to be over there. You get a chance to meet Tim, talk to him, and he's going to be available to sign some autographs. We're hoping to raise some money doing that. We also have a real good drawings we're going to have with some prizes available. You can win some really nice prizes. The grand prize, Tim has donated one of his bats. In fact, I've got it right now. Had a chance to swing it. It feels kind of nice swinging a Major League bat. He pulled it right from the rack. It's got his name on it. And what he's going to do to the winner, he's going to personalize it for him. He's going to autograph it, whatever. If you win that bat in the drawing, he'll put on there whatever you want. This is actually his bat, like I said, that was pulled from the rack. Some of the other prizes that have all been donated by some of the businesses around the community, we have a really nice Makita cordless drill and a limited edition figurine. All these prizes worth quite a bit of money. A real nice massage unit. We've got one of those caller IDs, some gift certificates from different places. East Metro Communications supplying a gift certificate. Some hot wings from Kevin Holden's favorite place to eat, the Hard Luck Cafe.
I want them now. I want the hot wings.
And by the way, if you're interested in purchasing tickets and can't get a hold of either Kevin or myself, Randy's got some down there at the Hard Luck Cafe. You can pick up some tickets to the drawing there. So far, we have been very fortunate
everything has been donated. We are running at zero cost, so every dollar that we do raise is going to go straight to the Juvenile Diabetes Foundation. This is an organization that is concerned with trying to find a cure for diabetes. They're heavy into research, and they're trying to find a cure. We have, both of us have reasons for wanting to strike out diabetes, and Tim Hires of the San Diego Padres, former Newton County High standout, has agreed to come and help us out with this. And Tim is doing this for absolutely nothing. He's donating all his time. He wanted that known because it's something he wants to give back to the community and help. Just a really gracious and fine gesture by Tim Hires.
Well, the community is very proud of Tim Hires and his accomplishments in professional baseball. It's really a good reflection on the community and the tradition for sports that we have had here in Newton County. And as you mentioned, this diabetes thing hits home for both of us. We both have very, very close relatives, mine being my father that has diabetes, yours being two brothers that have diabetes.
That's correct, yes. And hopefully sometime in the very near future they can find a cure, but it's going to take a lot of donations, and the community has gotten behind us real well on this so far. We hope everyone will come out and join us at the Little Phillies restaurant. Vic has been gracious enough. Paul says he's going to be there and come out and see the big dog, meet him. And
get his college football picks while you're at it.
Absolutely. And of course, Kevin, you and I will be there. We also team together on Saturday mornings, and we'll be there tomorrow with our favorite show, the Saturday Morning Super Trivia Spectacular. And in fact, the day of the benefit, we're going to do the trivia show and then rush right over to Little Phillies and be all set up to come back to everybody right at 11 o'clock. Like I say, we will be live from Little Phillies, and come on out, talk to us, meet Tim Hires, and it's all for a great cause for the Juvenile Diabetes Foundation.
You're going to hear a lot of the dynamic duo that day, but of course, we're trying to do it for a good cause, and we do hope you'll support us. Bill, thanks for giving us all the details. Enjoy your second half, and be ready, because next week you sit in the big dog's chair.
That's a big chair to fill. I'm really pleased and proud to be able to join you with it. This has been a great game so far, and let's hope Newton County can keep going.
It most certainly has been a great game. We're going to keep it here, and we're going to talk with the big dog himself, Paul Dailey, who I hope has his college picks ready, because this is kind of sudden. Are you ready?
I sure am, Kevin. I'm kind of, I like to do a little review of last week. I'm not real proud of this, but I'm going to go ahead and review some of you people that wasn't aware of the big dog picks last week. First pick I picked Georgia over Tennessee. That was a bad mistake. Oops. Tennessee beat them really bad. I picked Georgia by 4. They lost by 20. I picked Georgia Tech over Western Carolina. That one I did get correct. However, Georgia Tech struggled in the first half and actually came strong in the second half and beat Western Carolina pretty bad. Another game that I lost was the Notre Dame-Michigan game. I think I was not alone with that game. A lot of people picked Notre Dame to beat Michigan big, but Michigan held strong and beat Notre Dame last week. I picked Alabama to beat Vanderbilt. Alabama did beat Vanderbilt, but only by 10. I picked them by 20, so I lost that game. And also, my last one, I picked NC State to be beat by Clemson, and actually NC State went down to Death Valley and beat Clemson. I had Clemson by 6. I lost that one. For the big dog picks for this week, look for Northeastern Louisiana to lose big to Georgia. Pick Georgia by 24. Ooh. Florida at Tennessee. Well, that's a big game. Have to do it. Got to go with the Gators. Gators by 4. Marshall at Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern coming off a big defeat by West Georgia, and Jay Cawthorn, a big player here at Newton County. I picked Georgia Southern by 3. They're going to have a big comeback this tomorrow. LSU at Auburn. Pick Auburn by 10. And the last college game I want to pick is UCLA at Nebraska. That's going to be a big game with some very highly talented players. Pick Nebraska by 4. And I want to go one pro game, Kevin. That's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs with our own Dale Carter from Covington. Was one big part of that 1987 Newton County team. He's going to be playing with the Kansas City Chiefs. Look for him for number 34. I'm going to pick Kansas City by 4. So there's the big dog picks for this week, and I think I'm going to do a little bit better. I can't get a whole lot worse.
Well, Big Dog, I'm hoping the Big Dog picks are better this week. And talking about a couple of those games that you've got there, just one quick comment about this. You have there Florida picked over Tennessee and Nebraska over UCLA. Both very good picks, I believe. I'll agree with you on both of them. And it's been kind of a debate in the polls. Who's number 1, Florida or Nebraska? From what you've seen, who's the Big Dog pick for number 1 in the nation?
Number 1 pick in the nation, I've got to go with Florida. The quarterback, Dean, he's thrown over 500 yards, 11 touchdowns. 11 touchdowns. Can you believe that? Of course, they played some very weak teams in the last couple of weeks. Nebraska's quarterback is very strong, but Nebraska doesn't play a lot of big competition later on in their schedule. They've had a couple of big competitors first of all, and they got one tomorrow with UCLA. But for right now, I hate to say it because I am a Gator hater, but I'd have to say Florida is probably the best team in the nation right now.
So Florida gets the big dog pick as the number 1 team in the nation, and they will travel in and play Tennessee this weekend, but Florida the favorite in that matchup. We're going to be back in just a minute and tell you about your statistics from the first half of action. We'll do it right after this, the halftime show. Rams up 14-0 here on WGFS AM 1430.
If you think your business is too small to afford a business radio system, think again. It may be too small not to have one. In a small business, efficiency is a must. The more time you save, the more money you make. East Metro Communications can show you how a business radio system can make your business more efficient. To find out more about the full line of standard business radios, see East Metro Communications on Highway 278, a quarter mile east of the hospital, or call them at 786-6796. East Metro Communications, your local authorized dealer for standard communications, the business radio people.
At Courtesy Ford in Conyers, we have started our year-end clearance early because we are overstocked by approximately $2 million with the best selection of new Ford cars and trucks in the area. If you are looking for a new car or truck, forget list price, forget 6% over invoice, forget $100 over invoice. At Courtesy Ford, you only pay factory invoice. For a pleasurable buying experience, visit the House of Courtesy, where we're never satisfied until you are. We're conveniently located just off I-20 East at exit 41 in Conyers.
Why do people go to Pippin's Barbecue? Because they've heard about the great food, great service, and great prices. Pippin's Barbecue has delicious baby back ribs, Brunswick stew, and smoked chicken. But no matter what you try, you're going to love what you eat at Pippin's Barbecue.
Our food and our service just can't be beat. You're going to love what you eat.
Pippin's Barbecue, Highway 20 South in Conyers and on Alcovey Road in Covington.
Carroll's Floor Covering of Covington has everything you need for covering any floor in your home: carpet, vinyl, tile, or hardwood. With 35 years experience, interior designer available. Custom work is our specialty. We're not the largest, just the nicest. Carroll's Floor Covering is inviting you to come by and take a look at the many samples we have in stock to choose from. Carroll's Floor Covering, located at 1393 Access Road in Covington. 786-7700, 786-7700.
We are back from Homer Sharp Stadium, which, by the way, is now dry, and I hope we haven't just jinxed Homer Sharp Stadium here, and hopefully the rain will stay away for the second half. It looks a little better out here, and the crowd has improved, so if the rain is what's stopping you, don't let it. Come on out, watch a fine second half of action. It's the Rams by 14 points over the Heritage Patriots. Here are your statistics for the first half of Ram football action. The leading rusher for the Rams, Jason Robbins, for the second week in a row. He has 7 carries, 56 yards. He has also scored a touchdown. Cordell Benton, a close second with 6 carries, 48 yards and a TD. Adrian Carr has 5 carries for 42 yards. Patrick Gaither has touched the ball 5 times and gained 22 yards. Kareem Maddox, 6 carries for 8 yards. All in all on the ground for 29 carries. They've got 176 yards. That, folks, is almost 6 yards every time they touch the football on the ground. They have 2 touchdowns also. Kareem Maddox in the air is 2 for 2 for a total of 37 yards. No interceptions, yet no touchdowns. And so the Rams have been getting the job done on the ground. They have a total of 213 yards on 31 plays. As far as point after touchdown, Wes Billingsley 2 for 2 tonight. He's been perfect. Field goals, Billingsley is 0 for 1. Missing from 21 yards. As far as kickoffs is concerned, Wes Billingsley has kicked it off twice and booted it right through the back of the end zone twice, so he's averaging 60 yards per kickoff. As far as the Heritage Patriots are concerned, a quick little bit of statistics for them as far as running. Javon Sullivan, the lead rusher, 4 carries, 55 yards. Vino Gibson, 5 rushes, 23 yards. Brandon Gable has touched the ball 3 times, rushing for 7 yards. A major reason why the Patriots haven't scored, that passing game of theirs, 0 for 3. They have not completed a single pass in 3 attempts, and Paul, that's got to be a major factor in why the Patriots are down by 2 touchdowns. They haven't completed a pass.
They're relying a little bit on their passing game, and really surprised because the tailback Sullivan is so strong and so quick around the corners that I'm surprised they haven't gone more to the side. Every time they've gone wide with him or Brandon Gable, they've been successful. So look for the coaches from Heritage to realize that and to go try to get on the corner on Newton County. Right right now the weather is starting to cooperate with both of the teams. Is no longer going to be a wet ball, but that's going to be an advantage to Newton County, I feel, because it's going to be able to get the tailbacks on the corner with Cordell Benton and Adrian Carr.
The Rams have yet to punt the football tonight. The Patriots have punted it twice. Shandy King, 2 punts, 61 yards, a 30.5 average. Kevin Chapelier, the kickoff man, 1 kickoff for 28 yards. I think they missed the leg of Dax Langley.
That's exactly right, and that Dax Langley, which is from Heritage, and we called his name many times last year up there at Reed Stadium in Rockdale County, he is going to be actually the starter for Georgia tomorrow, so it actually only took him 2 games to establish a starting position at the University of Georgia. Man, he's got a strong leg, and he'll be playing in the NFL not too long from now. But Heritage's kicking game has suffered a lot, and whenever you lose someone of that stature, it's really hard for someone to come in and fill those shoes, but Heritage has always come out with a good kicker, and this guy's young, so I'm sure that he's going to work real hard this year and over the offseason.
Well, the Patriots, in addition to having some trouble kicking, only have 85 yards in total offense, where the Rams are at 213 yards in total offense. We're going to keep it here because the second half is about ready to get started. Paul, the keys to the second half for the Rams and maintaining the lead.
Just like we said last week, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Look for Coach Cook just to continue with doing the same things he's been doing, straight up the middle, maybe try a little bit on the corner, maybe throw a pass to keep the defense off guard. Look for Heritage to try the corners again. The keys to the game is Newton County to stay in the same structure, the same game plan that they were in the first half. Maybe make a couple of adjustments on the corner on defense. And Heritage has got to change their game plan all the way around. They've got to change it completely. And I look for Heritage and Coach Lanning to do that.
So the kickoff will come this time from Wes Billingsley. He'll try to maintain his perfect record here for at least this game. His first 2 kickoffs, 60 yards and right out the back of the opposite end zone for touchbacks. And as far as the Rams are concerned, they're looking to go to 3-0. The last time they did it, as we mentioned, 4 years ago, back in 1990, the Rams got off to a very, very promising start. They were 3-0 at that stage of the game and looked to have a very strong year going into sub-region play. It was a strong sub-region that year. The Rams kind of fell flat. They finished up 5-5, going 2-5 in those final 7 games of the year. And I'm sure, Paul, that no one is looking for that type of collapse from the Rams in 94.
I think the Newton County Rams have got too strong of a football team. They don't have many players out there, but they have the players they do have are very strong and have a lot of heart. And Newton County is going to have a really successful year this year. They've got a couple of wins under their belt. You stretch for a 10-0 season. Now, that's something that just rarely happens anymore. But Newton County's got a lot of talent out there. They're going to face some real tough competition on down the road. And we still don't have anything back from the injury to the Newton County player. And as soon as we get something from the EMT people, we'll let all of you people out there that are listening know about the injury.
We're sure you're interested in the condition of that injured player. Wes Billingsley will now begin the second half by kicking off, and all the Ram fans here at Homer Sharp Stadium on the home sideline are going to be on their feet, ready to kick the second half off. Heritage has brought a very good crowd with them, by the way, for tonight's game. Billingsley's kickoff, a line drive, 57 yards, taken at the 3-yard line by Sullivan. Sullivan to the 20, to the 25, and barrels out and is brought down at the 30-yard line. 57-yard kick, 27-yard return by Sullivan.
Something I watched on that play, I watched Patrick Gaither. He's one of the second-string fullback. He ran down on the kickoff, and he went through 3 players and just totally annihilated someone out there. I don't want to call his name, don't cause any embarrassment to him, but Patrick Gaither just ran over 3 people, and he's a small guy, so he's definitely got to have some strength. This is going to bring up Heritage 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line.
And so we have begun the second half. Patriots still have not scored a single point. This is a team that went out and lost just barely to Troup County and beat Rockdale 41-17 in the first week of the season. The handoff to Vino Gibson, stuffed for nada at the line, brought down to the 30.
You got both those tailbacks, both the linebackers. I keep wanting to say Jason Robbins and the other guys back there are tailbacks, but now they're playing defense. They're linebackers. They're just really strong. Him and Kevin Johnson and also James Jackson on that play, just doing a tremendous job of filling in the middle of the defensive line and a little bit of the secondary for Newton County.
The Rams travel all the way to Lithia Springs next week. Of course, if you can't make it, you can hear the game live on WGFS. Rams will take on a Lithia Spring Lion team that's about the same as last year. Another handoff here on second down. Vino Gibson takes it and gains perhaps 2 yards, but nothing more. Again, the Ram defense stopping that Patriot running attack. There's nothing the Patriots have been able to do as far as running all night.
Big stop there by Jason Robbins and also Courtney Williams, which is playing the down lineman on the left side of Newton County's defensive front. Both of them are doing a tremendous job. As we just said, I think we may have jinxed them, Kevin. Looks like the rain is coming back here to Homer Sharp Stadium.
Okay, that's the last time I ever say it's a dry Homer Sharp Stadium, okay? I realize now that I've jinxed it, and
people are running for cover.
Yes, the umbrellas are all back out. Gable over center, third down, 8-yard situation. He is pursued and brought down at the 23-yard line, and go ahead and say it, Paul.
There he is again, Kevin. Who is it?
Marcelo Baines.
It's Marcelo Baines. He's so quick. He does a lot of guessing, like I said in the first half. He does a lot of guessing, but he's got to do that because he's so small, but he's so quick. He guessed right then. He went right by the center. He's playing nose guard. He went right by the center, grabbed Brandon Gable, and actually body slammed him. So if the Hulkster or any of the wrestlers out there are watching, I'm sure they're proud of Marcelo's effort on that play.
So Shandy King will have to punt. Big Marcelo Baines. He gets past his man so fast and lightning quick, and the quarterbacks don't get a chance to react. Shandy King is the punter. The punt is past midfield, and it'll be fielded at the 35 by Cordell Benton. Benton is hit once at the 40, stays up until he makes it to the 42-yard line. The man who makes the final hit and brings him down is Jake Williams.
Good job there by Newton County's defense to stop Heritage. Didn't give him any yards at all. Big stand there, and that's what you want out of your defense. For the first defensive stand, you want to stop the Heritage Patriots because the coaches made adjustments over the halftime, and their adjustments just didn't work on that series. So Newton County's and Coach Cook's got to be proud of that defensive stand.
First down. The ball is on the Newton 42-yard line. A 42-yard punt, a 7-yard return by Mr. Cordell Benton. And Maddox fumbles another snap. This time someone ran into him as one of the guards appeared to be trying to pull toward the other side.
That's exactly right. And Newton County is going to have to do something about that. They're going to have to find out what the problem is. They're going to have to work hard at that. Coach Cook may have to find someone else that's going to snap because Marcelo is just, he's got to be just tired to death about playing both sides of the ball. And Newton County is really going to have to do something about that because they're not going to be able to do that on down the road.
Now we're under 9 minutes left in the third quarter of action. The Patriots haven't scored. The Rams still haven't allowed a point at home. In 1994, they've only allowed 2 touchdowns and only 1 by the first team this year. Jason Robbins takes the handoff, stays up and gains a good 5 yards. He was really down at the 42, but once again, he is big and strong, and it's tough to bring the man down, and that's how he got the extra 5.
That's exactly right. Good play there by Doug Parrish, another senior, 6'4", 250 pounds, coming around, leading Jason Robbins, which is 6'2", 230. So I'm sure the defensive end on Heritage Patriots over there wasn't very too envious. And number 60 over there, he met both of them. Matt Pryor, he's actually a sophomore.
It's 3rd and 5, and Danny Cisco in the game as a split end for the Newton County Rams. Maddox will take the snap, fakes the handoff, looks toward this side, and is brought down short of first down territory. The man who made the stop on him, Dwayne Turner, a senior linebacker.
I was just thinking about this, Kevin, as we've seen all year long, we've yet to see a holding penalty on Newton County's offensive line, and that takes a lot of discipline. I remember back over the years, and if you watch college football or professional football, you see holding all the time, but Newton County's offensive line has not had one single holding penalty against them all year, and they're doing a fantastic job.
The only holding that's been involved with the Rams is right up here in the press box. The man to kick is Wes Billingsley, as they'll try to punt here, 4th down in long yardage situation. Billingsley takes it, a good snap and a good punt. It is up and going to be taken and bobbled at the 20-yard line. Could be Rams football. We'll check and see. It is Newton County football. A man back there for the Patriots fumbled that one. It went right into his arms and right back out. Who that was E.J. Johnson.
That's exactly right. E.J. Johnson made a bad mistake there. He caught the ball. It looked like he made a good grasp on it and actually just went right through his arms and batted off his chest and right into Danny Cisco's arms, and he's going to be credited for the recovery. And this is going to be a real big play here for Newton County. This gives them great field position. They're going to have it 1st and 10 on the Heritage 19-yard line.
So Danny Cisco, once again, is in on a big-time play. He's been in on a bunch of them for the Rams here in the last 2 weeks. As a matter of fact, Stephen Smith in at quarterback, hands off to Jason Robbins, who is stopped in the backfield and lost probably 2 yards on the play.
Good job there by Stan Lee, linebacker for Heritage. He stuffed Jason right there at the line of scrimmage. A little bit of communication between the left side of the offensive line for Newton County. They're sitting there audibling to each other. They talk a lot. A lot of people don't realize that the offensive linemen are talking to each other as the play goes on, but a little bit of miscommunication on that play.
So Smith is in. There's also a new center, I believe, in there for the Newton County Rams. And Smith hands off to Adrian Carr, who gains a couple of yards. By the way, here on the sideline, here's Kareem Maddox and Marcelo Baines, and they're working on getting the handoff right. Coach Cook had finally had enough, so he puts in Smith and a new center.
As we keep saying every week, I think Coach Cook is listening to us up here, and this is really the only time that they can do it, is while Marcelo is not playing defense. This is the only time that they can practice on it is when they're on offense. And what you got to do, you got to bring both of them out of the game and bring some of the other players in. But you're getting a couple other players in there to get some experience. And Britt Mask is right now, he's playing center. The young guy, and Stephen Smith is in there getting a couple of snaps. So this is good for Newton County.
Third down and a long 8 as Smith goes over center. Mask, he's going to look to pass. The pass is up and almost intercepted. It was intended for Patrick Warren. It skipped out of his hands, stayed up in the air for about an hour or so, I believe, and Dustin Hodges just barely missed that.
Yeah, Dustin Hodges just missed that, and there wasn't really anybody out there to defend him. He would have probably ran for days. Something right there really questioned about, do you put your unexperienced quarterback and center in there when you're driving that close to the goal line? I don't know. I'm not a coach, but maybe I don't know if that was a real good time or not. But this is going to bring Wes Billingsley in. He's going to try about a 35-yard field goal. He's got a lot better position on this kick.
So the attempt will be 35 for Wes Billingsley, who has missed from 21 tonight. The snap is good. Hold is good for this one. Kick is up and no good. So for the second time tonight, Wes Billingsley has missed a field goal. 14-0 your score. The Newton Rams on top. We're going to be back with more exciting Newton County Rams football after this on WGFS AM 1430.
If you're raising rabbits, goats, fish, game birds, even crickets and worms, FRM can help you feed them. FRM offers a wide range of specialty feeds, vitamin-packed supplements, and minerals to give the proper nutrition to all kinds of critters. If you raise it for fun or profit, more than likely FRM has the right feed for it, and it's available now at your FRM dealer.
The Farm and Garden Depot of Covington, 4125 Emory Street, 787-3870.
Back at Homer Sharp Stadium, Brandon Gable takes it on a first down run for the Patriots from their own 20, gains a good 5 yards. Second down and 5 here for the Patriots. You've got a time of, I believe, 5 minutes and 12 seconds. There are some burnout light bulbs in the scoreboard, so I'm guessing here, but I believe 5:09 left in the third quarter. Rams up by 2 touchdowns.
Brand new go scoreboard there, and got a couple burnt lights. That's unexpected.
2 wideouts, 2 backs, same set for the Patriots that they've had all night. To give this time to Gibson, a couple of yards over the right tackle, but really nothing there. The Ram defensive line all over it once again brings up a third down.
Good job there by Marcelo Baines, also Jason Robbins, and also Greg Benson pinching that line down, squeezing down the tackle, and not allowing any room for the tailback to come through there. So good job by the defensive line from Newton County.
Got a couple of substitutions in there. We just saw Emilio Reed go in there, and Kevin Johnson also went in there. Jason Robbins and Courtney Williams come out to the sideline. After the 2-yard gain, it's 3rd down and 3 from the Heritage 27-yard line. 4.5 minutes or so remaining in the third quarter. Gable will take the snap, and he'll hand off, and Gibson has some serious running room, and he is wrapped up by Adrian Carr and brought down at the 39, and it's a good thing. The man might have had a touchdown had he gotten by Adrian Carr.
That's exactly right. What we're seeing right now, we're seeing Newton County's defense drag a little bit, and we're having a lot of substitutions. I don't know if they're fatigued or not, but Newton County's defensive line and also the linebackers are doing a lot of dragging, and what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to tighten up the trench traps and play a little bit of football here, because 14 points is not going to win a football game late in the third quarter.
That was a first down for the Heritage Patriots. The reason why that's significant, that's the first time in this half that either team has gotten a first down, and here comes another flag in the backfield. Brandon Gable's going to take it anyway and hand it off. They're going to act out the play as the guy got 1 yard up the middle, but there's a hanky down, a yellow one at the 32-yard line, and Heritage may be crying on that hanky again.
That's exactly right. One of the tight ends, or may have been a tackle on the right side over here, was moving a little bit. Greg Benson read that play. Greg Benson may have heard the play in the huddle because he knew exactly what was coming. He was playing the wide defensive end on this side over here, and he squeezed it all the way down to the other guard and made the tackle. So He's very quick over on this defensive end. It's going to back him up 5 yards, and it's going to be Heritage first down and 15 yards to go.
Yet another penalty for the Patriots. A lot of problems with the offense, and they have 5 penalties now for a total of 35 yards. Lots of those 5-yard penalties, those little ones, which hurt sometimes just as bad, especially if they're in a crucial situation. Gable will take the snap and keep it himself. Now options it out to Vino Gibson to the 39 and brought down right in front of the Newton County assistant coaches on the sideline as he's taken out of bounds by Cordell Benton and James Jackson.
And Coach Cook is there getting on his defensive secondary for letting that guy make that wide sweep. Someone's got to cover him, and the cornerback was not there. And Torrance McCollum had to come up and make the stop from his safety position, and Coach Cook's talking to his defensive secondary at this time.
3 minutes, 26 seconds left in the third quarter of action. The Ram fans here at Homer Sharp Stadium, those who have braved the on-again, off-again elements, have seen a terrific ball game as the Rams try to remain undefeated. Gable takes the snap, giving to Gibson. Gibson upended by Adrian Carr at the 48-yard line. There's no flag on the play. Adrian Carr just made a good hit.
Took his legs out from under him. Good stick there by Adrian Carr. It's one of those risky moves. If you miss him, you're going to look like an imbecile out there. But if you hit him, you're going to make a great tackle. So that's something they don't teach there. But good play there by Adrian Carr. He showed a lot of speed and actually made a touchdown-saving tackle. Newton County's defensive line has got to do a better job of squeezing that play down, and that's the defensive ends. And Greg Benson and Telly Smith's got to do a little bit better job here in the second half.
3rd down and 1. Time for the defense to suck it up here. Gable goes over center, the Rams pulling up the front. Gable goes through and has some room. He was diving straight forward and was touched by no one. He gains a good 7 yards and a first down.
Well, you got your starting linebackers over here on the sideline, and that's very frustrating. That's the first thing that Coach Binky does. The defense coordinator sends his stud back in there, Jason Robbins, to get the defensive guys back up on their feet. And you need leadership like that, and Jason Robbins is especially the man to go in there and get a little leadership for this defensive squad.
Second time that the Patriots have picked up a first down here in the quarter. Just over 2 minutes remaining, actually 2:20 if you want to be exact. As Gable once again goes to Vino Gibson. No, he doesn't. He pitches out now to Javon Sullivan to the 30-yard line to the 25 and brought down. Gibson had a good fake there, faked out your play-by-play man, but Gable was on the right side on the option to Sullivan and gained big yards.
Brandon Gable is so good on that veer option. He does a fantastic job. He faked out everybody in the stadium except him and the tailback and Javon Sullivan. And Brandon's just so confident. Brandon Gable's so confident when he goes around the side. He can pitch it any time, and that's something we don't see with Newton County's quarterback. There's not a lot of confidence there on that play, and Brandon Gable is an excellent quarterback, and he's been there for several years, so the experience pays off.
The Patriots have had 3 rushes for over 10 yards. Javon Sullivan has all 3 of them. Brandon Gable, the quarterback, hands off to Sullivan, who is wrapped up with nothing at the line of scrimmage. 1:46 left. It'll be a second down situation from the 25 to 24-yard line now where they spot it.
Big play there by Courtney Williams. Javon Sullivan was a straight dive off tackle. Courtney Williams was there to meet the challenge, and he stuffed Javon Williams and actually allowed only about a half-an-inch gain on that play.
Now we're under a minute and a half. The third quarter slowly winding down. The Rams scored 1 touchdown in the first quarter, another one in the second quarter, and they have not allowed a single point in what is approaching 7 quarters now at home. Gable with a long snap count. Now he hands off to Vino Gibson. Gibson gains a yard and maybe 2. Marcelo Baines, now make that Rico Williams, was coming in on the quarterback. Gable gave him a good shove as he was coming in that time.
What you're doing there is Rico Williams, his responsibility is actually the pitch man. But then you see him, he's coming up and he's hitting the quarterback, and that's leaving the pitch man wide open, and that's where Newton County is having some trouble because that relies on Torrance McCollum to come up and take the pitch man, and he's way out there covering the receiver. So Newton County's got to make some adjustments on their defensive side of the ball.
Now we've got a 3rd down and 8. Brandon Gable, a man who still has not completed a pass all night, hasn't attempted one in the second half, hands off, and Vino Gibson has nothing. Jason Robbins right there on the tackle, James Jackson, Cordell Benton, and also big Courtney Williams on the stop.
I just don't really understand that. I don't really understand that call from Coach Landy and his offensive staff. You're doing so good on the corners, and then you run 3 straight plays up the middle and gain nothing, and I don't really understand that. Basically a poor decision on the coaching staff.
4th down situation, long yardage from the 21. They may go on and attempt a field goal. They may go for it here. The quarter is about to wind down. That was a break for the Patriots as they had trouble deciding what they were going to do. They had a couple of men who had left the field. But that'll do it for your third quarter of action. So when we come back, it'll be 4th down and 6 yards to go. The ball will be on the Newton County 21, and we'll be back with your 4th quarter of Ram football action right after these messages.
Charles Evans Nissan says you need one tough motor oil to meet the demands of today's new car engines. So ask for the motor oil that's tested tough. So tough it puts it in writing. The motor oil is Quaker State, and Charles Evans Nissan has it. Go to Charles Evans Nissan today and see a copy of Quaker State's tough new lubrication limited warranty. It will give your new car the extra protection you're looking for. Only one tough motor oil could make a guarantee this tough, but Quaker State is one tough motor oil.
If you have a big job for a chainsaw, get a chainsaw that's built to take it. The new Husqvarna 51 chainsaw is now available at Coast to Coast Home and Auto. This saw has an extra large filter to keep it running cooler, cleaner, longer. And the 51 is tough enough to cut thick trees with power to spare. Check out this new Husky today at Coast to Coast Home and Auto on the square in downtown Covington.
And we are back beginning your 4th quarter of action. Brandon Gable on the 4th down play goes toward the sideline. Is he going to have the first down? It's going to be close. He goes out to the 13-yard line. He had a little extra effort at the end. That may have gotten the first down for the Patriots.
That's exactly right, and Heritage got a lot of break there. There was 2 or 3. I was watching the interior of the offensive line there, and there was 3 or 4 people grabbing jerseys. Courtney Williams was dragged down, so there's a holding that went unspotted, and a couple of other ones, and Heritage was very lucky. But a great effort there by Brandon Gable to come around the corner and get a second effort and get the first down.
So now, just as the 4th quarter begins, here is Heritage knocking on the door. Newton County hopes to slam the door. The ball on the 12-yard line, 1st down and 10. The Patriots, a long, long drive here, not a single passing play. Again, Gable will take it. Again, he will give to Vino Gibson. Gibson is out to the 5-yard line. That'll be a gain of about 7 yards and puts them that much closer to the goal line and breaking this shutout and breaking the Rams' streak of not allowing a point at home.
Newton County had a little stunt on there where they was bringing Kevin Johnson up the middle on a blitz, and Heritage had the right call play because the running back went right in the hole where Kevin Johnson left and made a big gain, and Jason Robbins brought him down before he could score a touchdown.
So the Patriots look to score and cut the lead to 7, or they may go to 2 and try to cut the lead to 6. First, they've got to concentrate on getting across the goal line. Gibson takes it. Has he made it to the goal line? I don't think so. He is just a little bit short, and Javon Sullivan is furious out at the 10-yard line. He thought that perhaps they should have had the touchdown.
Well, he's furious about that. He's also furious about Brandon Gable not pitching the ball to him because there was no one out there to defend it. So that's one of the things he's upset about. But Newton County is going to have to make a stand here. It's going to bring up 3rd down and less, actually a little over a yard.
So 3rd down from the 1. First down, make that from the 1-yard line. It's the 2nd time the Patriots have picked up a first down here in the 4th quarter already. So Gable will go over center, take it himself, and does he score? We watch for the officials.
No.
He does not.
Big stand there by the right side of the defensive line for Newton County. Jason Robbins, Rico Williams in there in the bottom of the pile. Marcelo Baines, a short little guy with a lot of heart. He's in there. It's going to be hard to do for Brandon Gable. He's not that big of a player. It's going to be kind of hard for him to sneak through the middle. He was very successful here in the middle of the field, but down here in the goal line, that's one of the hardest things to do.
2nd down, and the ball is probably a finger's length away from the goal line. It is about the 1/4-yard line, so I'd imagine Gable will try to take it over center once again. Now there's 10 minutes left in this ball game as Gable takes the snap. There's a penalty flag, so whether or not there's a touchdown, we'll see. Huge right there because it puts the ball back at about the 6-yard line, and instead of the Rams trying to make a goal line stand, they still are in kind of bad position with the ball on the 6, but they at least have some breathing room because that ball was right almost on top of the goal line. But in a 2nd down situation now, if the Rams can just stuff them 1 or 2 more times, they may prevent a touchdown here. That penalty turns out to be big for the Heritage Patriots, especially if they don't score. Keep it in mind. Brandon Gable hands off, and brought down at the 10-yard line is Javon Sullivan.
Guess who it is, Kevin?
Oh, I'm going to take a wild guess. Go on a limb and say Marcelo Baines.
Marcelo Baines, again, guessed really quickly, grabbed Brandon Gable's feet. Brandon Gable was able to pitch the ball, and Greg Benson was there to make the big stop. Big play there for the Newton County Rams. It's going to back them up, back the Heritage Patriots up to about the 9-yard line. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 9, actually a third goal to goal from the 9. So, looks like Newton County is going to take a timeout here and talk about it.
They will try to regroup. The Rams have made a tremendous goal line stand. The Patriots with the ball on the 1-foot line. Now the Rams will take a timeout. It'll be 3rd down and goal to go from the 9-yard line. The Patriots may have blown a scoring opportunity. We're going to be back with more exciting Newton County Rams football after this on WGFS AM 1430.
If it involves sports and you need it, take your need to Ludy Sports Shop and Trophies, 787-3014. They've got a fine selection of baseball and football cards. For your favorite teams, they have T-shirts, caps, and sportswear. And they also make trophies. It's all under one roof at Ludy Sports Shop in the Newton Plaza Shopping Center in Covington. 787-3014. Ludy Sports Shop, 787-3014.
With 9 minutes and 14 seconds left here at Homer Sharp Stadium in Covington, Georgia, where the Newton County Rams are leading the Heritage Patriots 14-0. Back with your play-by-play, Kevin Holden.
Well, that temple that is known as the Rams defense will try to be the pilots of their own destiny. 3rd down from the 9-yard line. 9 minutes, 14 and some change seconds left. 3rd down from the 9. Here come the Patriots coming up to the offensive line. Rams will line up along the defense. They'll spread the D just a little bit here. Couple of backs, one wide out this time for the Heritage offense. And a man is offside. That could be on Heritage and not on Newton County. We saw one of the Rams men drop offside, but a lot of times he's drawn off by a Heritage offensive lineman.
Jody Mitchell there, the offensive tackle for Heritage, is a little bit anxious there. Jumped off sides, just a little bit anxious, and he's the captain on the Heritage squad, and that's something you don't expect out of your captain. And he jumped a little outside, got caught by the referees. Actually, the Newton County defenders were sitting there pointing at him, so that's one of the embarrassing things about it. But still, these penalties are killing Heritage, and Coach Landy's got to be a frustrated young man, because he actually is a young man over there on the sideline.
Everything has exploded on the Patriots here as they have just basically blown up. They're all the way back on the 14-yard line now. Going to try it a 3rd down and goal situation. Now the passing attack can make up for a lot of things, and here comes a potential pass as Gable comes up the middle, and he is knocked at the 17-yard line. There's a penalty flag. Looks like Marcelo Baines there. Hopefully the penalty is not on the Rams.
I don't know. Usually you don't like to see those kind of things thrown in the pile, because usually when someone throws something in the pile, it's probably going to be a face mask. But it looks like the defensive captains there, Jason Robbins, is saying it's a holding, one of the first holding calls we've seen all year against the Heritage Patriots. So penalties are killing Heritage, and they're being very gracious to the Newton County Rams.
So we'll see what happens here. The ball is spotted on the 17. There goes the call, the official one. It is completely declined by the Rams. So the penalty, Rams don't even worry about it because of the loss of 3 yards. They'd rather take it.
And it's going to bring up a 4th down and 14 yards to go. There's no way Heritage can get a 1st down here. So Coach Landy over there on the Heritage sideline has decided, hey, let's just go ahead and go for it. It's going to be 4th and 14.
It's real simple. You either score or you give the ball back to the Rams, and you got to imagine.
Actually, it's a little bit longer than 4th and 14, Kevin, because it's lined up there on the Newton County 16, and they're saying it's 14 yards to go, but it's got to be 16 yards.
You've got to know that this is going to take the wind out of the sails of the Patriots, and here comes another penalty flag. It's been a slow one tonight, lots of penalties, and it's on the Rams this time.
That's one thing you don't want to do. You don't want to get in a penalty match with them or a flag match, because this is going to give Heritage 5 extra yards. It's going to bump them back up there. Now it's going to be about 4th down and goal to goal from the 12-yard line. Actually, it's unsportsmanlike conduct. That's a very big penalty, and that's going to back the Newton County Rams up to about the 8-yard line. So a very foolish penalty on one of the Newton County Rams.
So after the Rams have such an advantage, the Patriots on the 1, the Rams back them all the way up to the 17, and we've been sitting on this 4th down play for quite a while now. It's on the 8-yard line. For the Patriots, again, it's either score some points here or the Rams will take it back, having preserved the shutout, at least for now. Gibson takes the handoff. No touchdown. The Rams bring him down. There's no flags. Ladies and gentlemen, the Rams have made a tremendous goal line stand.
They made a goal line stand because of good defense and the help of penalties against the Heritage Patriots. I think Coach Cook is going to have a talk with somebody who got unsportsmanlike conduct out there, and I don't really want to point anybody's name because that's one thing you don't want to do. But tremendous stand there by Newton County. And that's something that sets a trend. If you hold somebody like this, like Heritage, with a powerful offense, you're expected to do it again, and that's something that is a good trend setter for Newton County.
So the Rams will take it, but they're at their 4-yard line. They, once again, as we mentioned, have preserved the goose egg on the scoreboard.
And first person that Coach Cook congratulated on that series was Marcelo Baines. Marcelo is just a workhorse. He's a fine young man. He works after practice. He goes to work on Saturdays and Sundays. Just a great young man, and he's going to have a tremendous life ahead of him.
They're looking after one of the Heritage players, I believe, out on the 4-yard line. A couple of the folks are coming out there, managers and also the head coach. Gary Brown apparently twisted his back making that tackle on Brandon Gable. He took a pretty big hit. Did not take the helmet. He appears to be okay, but they're awaiting the results of the x-ray, so we're hoping for the best for Gary Brown.
And like I said earlier, usually when the EMTs do that, they're just taking all the precautions in the world, and you don't really know what to expect until you take all the armor that all these football players have on. And they did that over at the Newton County General Hospital, and hopefully the x-rays will turn out negative, and Gary Brown will be able to come back real soon to help this Newton County team out.
That's Vino Gibson for the Patriots that's being led off the field. There's a man who has just been in the middle of the action all night tonight, and you've got to imagine he's tired because the ball has been handed off to him so many times in the second half, and that's a man who's been involved on both offense and defense, so they're taking him out now. Stephen Smith is your QB for the Rams. They're running the wishbone offense, and some of the Heritage folks drop offside, and those yellow hankies are going to be the wettest things in the house. They keep dropping and hitting the turf. See what this one's against.
That's going to be against the Heritage Patriots. Stephen Smith, a new quarterback in there, has a little bit, maybe a little different cadence than does Kareem Maddox, and it drew the defensive line for Heritage off. And it's going to give Newton County a 1st and 5 on their own 8-yard line.
Does this appear to you to have the look of a first game of the season? You know, the first game, usually both teams pretty sloppy. That's what this looks like.
That's exactly right.
Smith goes over his center, Britt Mask. Again, the starting center and starting quarterback have been taken out, and we've got another penalty flag. I think this one's going to be on Cordell Benton, if I'm not mistaken. Adrian Carr, meanwhile, has taken the handoff to the 32-yard line and has fumbled the ball at the 34-yard line. They're going to rule him down there, but I have a feeling none of it means anything.
All of it's going to come back. Cordell Benton was a little bit quick, and like you said, just the last play, Kevin, you're seeing a lot of penalties, a lot of mental mistakes from not only younger players but also captains and seniors on both sides of the ball. And like I said, it looks like one of the first games of the season, and I'm sure both coaches on both sidelines, even though Coach Cook's got a 14-point lead, he's got to be frustrated with these irritating penalties. And also Coach Landy, you get down there almost ready to score, and you have all these penalties that push you way back, and they just got to be frustrated.
Half the distance to the goal line makes it 1st down for the Rams. They are going to be on the 4.5-yard line. It'll be 1st down and about 9.5 yards to go. We've got 7:39 remaining in your ball game. The Rams up by 2 touchdowns, looking to go to 3-0 this year. Stephen Smith, your quarterback, still hasn't had this 1st down play executed because of penalties. He hands off, and Patrick Gaither has a little room on the far sideline to the 9, perhaps the 10-yard line.
A good run there by Patrick Gaither to get a little bit of breathing room. Stephen Smith read the play really well. One thing you don't want to do is pitch back to your tailback on your own 2-yard line, and he gave it to his fullback. He gained 6 yards, and it's going to bring up a second down and 4 yards to go.
So it's on the 10. And here comes Adrian Carr out to the sideline. They'll give him a little bit of rest. We see Jamal Marks in there with Patrick Gaither and Cordell Benton, and they're going to run a little bit of different set of wing T type set with only one back and 2 men, one on either side of the line. The give out to the 19 and the 20-yard line, perhaps. It's 1st down territory for the Rams. Looks like Patrick Gaither may have taken that handoff.
That's exactly right. Patrick Gaither is he's a lot stronger than what he looks like. He's carrying people down the field with him. He's got the build, like I said earlier in the ball game, of a tailback. He's got the speed of a tailback, but he's very, very strong, and that's something a lot of college scouts will look at down the road.
Now the Rams will do something that they are so good at, and that is running time off the clock and running it and running it and running it. That's something the Rams have done so much of the first 3 weeks of the season. They are probably as expert at doing that as anybody in this region. 6 minutes, 25 seconds as the clock continues to move. That first down from Newton County is their only first down here in the second half after having 9 in the first half. Patrick Warren, your split end to the right side. The wishbone set. Stephen Smith will be handing off at about a 2 or 3 yard gain out of Cordell Benton that time.
You see a lot of younger players in there right there. Britt Mask is playing center. Stephen Smith, which is playing quarterback. Both of them are doing a good job. We've yet to see a fumble snap from those two, so that's a positive sign from your second stringers. But this is a good time to play some of the younger players and see what they can do, and that's exactly what Coach Cook is doing.
Rams have a pair of timeouts remaining. The Patriots with 3 according to the scoreboard. That means that later on in this game, at least the next 4 or 5 plays or so, you may see Heritage take some of those timeouts and try to stall this drive by the Rams. Adrian Carr fumbles a pitch at the 15-yard line. He's got to make the play himself. He's at the 25. He's at the 30. Cuts back upfield to the 40. Brought down at the 44-yard line. Paul, I've got a new offensive game plan for the Rams. Start off by fumbling the football, and you'll gain big yardage.
That's exactly what happened. This is probably the 3rd or 4th play we've seen tonight that started out with a fumble. Then they turn around and make positive yards out of it. And what happens right there is Adrian's got so much speed that the defense of Heritage is going one way, and Adrian just stops and comes back the other way, and it's real hard for them to catch up, and Adrian made a big gain. It's going to bring up a first down for Newton County on their own 42.5-yard line.
You mentioned the switch from side to side in the field. I am sure that the muddy conditions there probably didn't help the Heritage Patriot defense all that much. Smith will take the handoff and give to Gaither, who is at midfield and past midfield and still up to the 46, where he is brought down. It is another first down for Newton County as he is brought down. Gaither is by Randy Hall.
I'm really impressed with Patrick Gaither coming in there and relieving Jason Robbins of playing fullback. Patrick's just doing a superb job of coming in there, getting 8 or 9 yards in a play. He's got picked up 10 or 11 there. Britt Mask came out. Looks like he's got a little bit of a cramp on the sideline, and Marcelo Baines is right back in there at center.
The Rams had not picked up a single first down until 4 plays ago. Now they have 3 in these last 4 plays. We're back to the wishbone set. You don't even see a single wideout out there. And Benton takes the handoff, and he is hit hard and brought down at the line of scrimmage. The initial hit was Andy Bright, a senior defensive lineman.
Big play there by Andy Bright on the defensive line for Heritage Patriots. Stuffed Cordell Benton right there at the line of scrimmage and tried to do a little Olay and throw him back, and got a little bit of help from his buddies from the linebacking squad.
And again, the Rams continue to march it down the field. 4:20 left in the game. The Rams continue to cling to the 2-touchdown lead. They stop the Patriots at the goal line. That may have sealed that win there for the Newton County Rams if they can hold on to the football and not fumble it all that much. Brought down at the 40-yard line after the give. Stephen Smith handed off to Cordell Benton. He was brought down by Matt Pryor.
Good job there by the left side of, actually the right side of the Newton County Rams. Number 56, Torrance Brown's doing a good job. He's a senior out there, 6'1", 260 pounds. He's using his meat and beef to push the defensive line down the field.
3rd down situation here and 5 yards to go for a first down. Will we see Stephen Smith attempt to pass? He has attempted one so far, and it's been incomplete in his career so far here this year for the Rams at least. And one of the Heritage Patriots jumped off sides. Don't know if he was drawn off by the Rams. We'll see what happens.
Looks like anytime you see a defensive go across the line and just kind of inch back, usually it's going to be against him, and they're going to call a procedure call, or actually offsides on the Heritage Patriots, and that's actually going to be real close to a first down. I think it's going to be first down. It's going to be it is. It's going to be first down for Newton County on the Heritage 36-yard line.
Another penalty for the Heritage Patriots and another first down for the Rams. That, by the way, on the Patriots is a total of 8 penalties for a total of 55 yards. Most of them 5-yard penalties coming on these procedure-type calls. Stephen Smith will take it and give it. to the 30 to the 29. That appeared to be Jason Robbins on the carry. He is now finally brought down by a slew of tacklers by the Patriots.
Good job there by the right side of the offensive line again. Stephen Smith's doing a good job of making some good reads. He's doing a tremendous job of giving it to the person that he needs to. Gave it to Jason Robbins. He moves the pile for 6 or 7 yards. And Heritage Patriots have got to be demoralized right now. They're most of the players that we see on the field out there are two-way starters. And it looks like we've got a timeout on the field. It's going to be a timeout for Heritage Patriots.
While the Patriots take this timeout, so will we. Your score is 14-0. Exactly 3 minutes left in this affair. More exciting Newton County Rams football right after this on WGFS AM 1430.
Today's business relies on communication. A two-way radio system provides communication instantly. For information about two-way radio, visit East Metro Communications, this area's oldest dealer in communications equipment. East Metro Communications is locally owned and operated. That means you get good hometown service before and, most importantly, after the sale. East Metro Communications is conveniently located on Highway 278, a quarter-mile east of the hospital in Covington, or call them at 786-6796.
Back live here at Homer Sharp Stadium, where the Newton County Rams are on their own 32-yard, actually on the Heritage 32-yard line. Back with your play-by-play, Kevin Holden.
Thank you very much, Paul Dailey. 2 minutes, 19 seconds left as the Rams try to run out the clock now with Stephen Smith as their quarterback for this entire series. Adrian Carr was hit for a loss of 2, so it is third down from the 32-yard line. Stephen Smith fakes the handoff, has a run to the right side, uses that quickness to the 29. There's another penalty flag thrown at the 23-yard line, well away from where Smith was brought out of bounds.
You usually hate to see those flags right there because maybe a clip, and I've been wrong all night. Actually, it's the first holding call against Newton County all year long, so it's going to back them up.
Smith had gained to the 30-yard line.
That's something that it's usually rare to see is no holding calls against a team in 3 games, but as soon as I say that, here comes the first holding against Newton County. It's going to be declined because Heritage made a big play on Stephen Smith there. Stephen's got to learn that, hey, he can pitch the ball, and what he did there, he tucked the ball a little bit early. He didn't. He decided not to pitch to Cordell Benton when Cordell Benton should have been pitched to.
It'll be a 4th down and a long 4, short 5. Into the action, Stephen Smith, Jason Robbins. Out of the action is Patrick Gaither. The Rams are taking their sweet time, and they may have a delay of game call here. We'll see what happens. It's a 4th down, as we mentioned, a long 4. Now a minute 44 left in the game. 14-0 the score. The Rams, in 2 games, still have yet to allow a single point. That's field goals, safeties, touchdowns, anything at home. Adrian Carr takes a pitch, gets by one man. He's at the 30, cuts upfield to the 20-yard line into the 19, and we have a first down for the Newton County Rams. And Adrian Carr's speed and his quickness, that's what did it for him.
That's going to be a big play in the ball game right there. That's going to really hurt the Heritage Patriots. That's going to give Newton County a first down on the Heritage 20-yard line. Big play there by Cordell. They quickly pitched it to him and let him Adrian do what he can do, is run and juke and jive, and he got out there and got a first down. Big play for Newton County.
Rams have 14 first downs in this game. They have a minute and 23 seconds, and I think that they would not mind, just for the sake of having some extra points up there, throwing another 6 on the scoreboard. I don't think they would complain about that at all. Cordell Benton will take it, and he is just shy of the 10-yard line after a good run. Probably a 7-yard gain.
Well, when you think about this, and I'm sure Coach Cook's not thinking about this, but as a fan and someone who enjoys high school football, if Newton County can go down here and score another touchdown, that's going to look really good in the paper tomorrow. Maybe Newton County may be considered as an honorable mention state contender. Maybe even push them up into maybe 10th or 11th place in the state. And you got to score points for the people up in Atlanta to really recognize you.
Well, the Rams have picked up victories over teams that have not been slouches. Redan was ranked 10th. This Heritage team has played 2 terrific games, 41 points on a sloppy night against Rockdale. The give to Benton once again, and Benton, with just over 30 seconds left, has plowed through a couple of yards, and either the Rams will take a timeout here or they'll just let the clock run out. They may have time for one more play. It's on the 11.
Coach Cook is probably not going to take a timeout. He's one of the old-fashioned football coaches. Reminds me a lot of Coach Vince Dooley. He's not going to run the score up on anybody. But, that's one of the things where that's the personality of Coach Cook, and that's why he's admired by all his players and the people at Newton County.
And the Rams are just going to sit. 7 seconds, 6, 5 seconds, 4 left in the game. 3, 2, 1. No time remaining, and the Rams go to 3-0 for the first time since 1990 as they defeat the Heritage Patriots 14-0. They still have not allowed a single point at home. This team, something to watch. You better watch out. The Rams are a tough one this year. We're going to be back and wrap it up and tell you the good news from Homer Sharp Stadium, and we're going to do that right after this here on WGFS AM 1430.
When you need insurance, here's the first thing you should do. Call your auto owner's agent. They are people just like you.
If you're age 55 or older, you've earned an auto insurance discount from Auto Owners Insurance. Our statistics show drivers 55 and older have fewer and less costly accidents, so it's only fair to charge you less for your personal auto insurance. To find out how much you can save, contact the No Problem people, your Auto Owners Insurance agent today.
Call your auto owner's agents. They are people just like you.
See the Steele Jones Insurance Agency, located on Floyd Street, Southeast, in Covington. Or call 786-9213.
Auto owners, the No Problem people.
Cereal biscuits and gravy, tomato slices, Jell-O, fresh fruit and grits. Whew.
Bet you can't do it again.
Again?
Shoney's 40-item all-you-care-to-eat breakfast bar presents a dilemma for some of our more sporting customers.
Look, I don't know if I have one more in me.
You see, it seems they view our mouth-watering selection of 40 breakfast items as a challenge.
Oh, it is.
One look at all that freshly prepared food available at one low price, and they want it all at once.
Well, maybe one more time.
But there's only one way to get everything on a breakfast bar at once.
Here goes. Pancakes, scrambled eggs, bacon, breakfast potatoes, cheese sauce, sausage, cinnamon toast sticks.
And even that takes practice.
Fresh fruit and grits. Did I get it all?
Well, you forgot sticky buns again.
Oh, no. All right, here we go. One more time. Pancakes.
Shoney's all-you-care-to-eat breakfast bar. With so much to choose from, maybe we should call it all you dare to eat.
And sticky buns. Boy, that's a mouthful.
And remember, Wednesday night is family night at Shoney's. Kids 12 and under eat free off the kids menu. Limit 2 per adult meal purchase, only at Shoney's. Check out these items at Mayfield Ace Hardware, on sale now through September 19th. Ace 5-star flat latex wall paint, $8.97 a gallon. Ace 7-star satin latex wall and trim paint, $13.99. Ace 7-star flat latex wall paint, $10.97. Ace 7-star semi-gloss latex enamel, only $13.97. This sale continues through September 19th at Mayfield Ace Hardware, on the Square and in Newton Plaza.
Ladies and gentlemen, you don't want to miss out on these new arrivals at Hayes Furniture Company of Covington. They have a new shipment of gun cabinets just in time for the holidays. Hayes Furniture has corner cabinets and curio cabinets. And to help you ladies keep the house clean, Hayes has a wide selection of Hoover vacuum cleaners, upright and canister styles, along with shampooers and steam cleaners with supplies of bags and belts. That's right at Hayes Furniture on Washington Street, Covington, 786-3737.
Back here live at Homer Sharp Stadium, where the Newton County Rams are victorious with a 14-0 win over the Heritage Patriots. Back with your stats, Kevin Holden.
That is me, and it is a plush victory for the Rams as they beat the Patriots 14-0. Here are your final statistics. Your leading rusher turns out to be Adrian Carr, but there are 3 folks right up there as far as rushing is concerned. Adrian Carr touched the ball 9 times, 75 yards for him. Jason Robbins had 67 yards on 10 carries. Cordell Benton, 65 yards on 11 carries. Patrick Gaither came in and did an excellent job tonight. 8 carries, 46 yards. Kareem Maddox gained a total of 10 yards on 8 carries. All in all, 263 yards on 46 carries for the Rams. And again, they keep the strong average about 5 yards per carry. Stephen Smith was 0 for 1 in pass attempts in the second half. Maddox 2 for 2 in the first half for 37 yards. So what that means is you could chalk up a perfect game, as they would have in bowling. It's an even 300 yards for the Rams in total offense in this game. And that's a big one, Paul, as 300 yards usually will be enough to give you a pretty good edge. And when you don't give up any points, you're pretty well assured of something.
Yeah, you'd like to get a little bit more than 300 yards, but and especially you'd like to have over 200 yards rushing and maybe over 150 yards passing. But Newton County is really struggling in the area of passing. But they did a better job of it this week, and they're doing a better job each week as we go along. But when you talk about rushing, Newton County is doing a fantastic job with the about that. As you were reading the stats off there, I was doing a little multiplication or a little division, and I was finding out that where most of the tailbacks and both the fullbacks have over a 5 or 6 yard per carry, and the quarterbacks are bringing that average back down because they're not gaining too much yards. But the backs and the offensive line, they've got to work together. And I guarantee if you go down and interview one of the tailbacks or the fullbacks from Newton County, they're going to tell you we can't do a thing without the offensive line. And those are the guys that don't get any credit. But me, as a former lineman, I'm going to give them credit, and they did a wonderful job.
But the key right here for the Rams, picking up the 14-0 victory, as you mentioned, the line and also the defense. The defense was terrific. You look at one statistic, it'll prove everything for you tonight. Heritage was 0 for 5 passing with 1 interception. They did not attempt a single pass in the second half. They understood the prowess of the defense by the Rams and their own inability to pass in this particular game. We know Brandon Gable is a capable passer, but coming up against this Ram defense, he had lots of trouble, and that's a major reason why the Patriots didn't put a single point up there.
That's exactly right. The Newton County defense did a wonderful job with the penetration, the quick penetration of Marcelo Baines, the strength of the linebackers with Kevin Johnson and Jason Robbins and also Jamiko Usher. The secondary did a tremendous job. Alex Watley had an interception. They just did a tremendous job of playing defense. Heritage tried to change their game plan at halftime. They wanted to go on the corners more in the second half. That did not work for them. A frustrating night with penalties, especially for Heritage. They just had a lot of just stupid penalties that killed their drives. Newton County had several penalties too that I'm sure Coach Cook is going to address on Monday morning. But overall, a good victory for Newton County. A sloppy game, if you'll ask Coach Cook, but it's a good victory that's going to put him at 3-0, and it's going to put him in a good position there to go against Lithia Springs next week.
Coach Cook wants more than anything else to be 4-0 going to Winder Barrow. I have this feeling because that will give the Rams a tremendous amount of momentum. And Winder, being a tough ball club, the Rams will need that extra momentum. Well, they're one step away. The Lithia Springs Lions, the Rams' next game, the last remaining non-sub-region game. And so after this next one, they really are for real as the sub-region schedule comes up. And we've got a tough sub-region, but being 3-0, the Rams are now ready.
Well, we remember watching Lithia Springs when they came down here last year. And if you remember, Lithia Springs had a lot of young players, and those young players are now more experienced players because they went through a 10-ball game season last year. So they're going to be a lot more experienced. They run that frustrating wing tee again. And Newton County is going to have to get prepared for the Lithia Spring Lions, and they can't look too much ahead for Winder Barrow. I mean, you got to concentrate week to week, but Coach Cook is such a good, concentrated, and disciplined coach that he's going to make his people focus on week-to-week teams, and that's what you got to do. And Newton County is in a really good position. I'm going to really miss not being at Lithia Springs next week, but I guarantee I'm going to be tuning in to AM 1430, Covington's Sports Network.
That's exactly it. We are your leader and your station for Rams sports. I'll be joined by Bill Dolan, who will be giving me the color analysis as he'll be calling the Rams and Lithia Springs Lions from somewhere about a mile away from the field at Lithia Springs Stadium. If you haven't been out there, if you want to look for us, you're going to have to probably drive a little ways. We're quite a ways away from the field up there at Lithia Springs. But, Paul, an excellent job. And the next time you and I will speak together on the air will be the next Rams home game, which happens to be the 14th of October, a good 4 weeks from now, as it'll be homecoming against the Rockdale Bulldogs.
I look forward to that game. Rockdale, anytime Newton County plays Rockdale, it doesn't matter if they're playing chess, it doesn't matter if they're in a debate team, it doesn't matter what they're doing. Those two teams don't like each other. I remember when I was back there, they used to send me powder puff and things in the mail, the coaches from Rockdale. It was just a big rivalry between Heritage Patriots, but the biggest rivalry Newton County has is Rockdale. And those kids, when they go to East Town, if Newton County players go up to Rockdale to watch a movie, there's Rockdale players up there, and this is bragging rights. And now they have half of those bragging rights out of Rockdale County because they beat Heritage. Now, the next game, which I'll be back in, they'll be playing Rockdale, and that's bragging rights, and I look forward to that game. And Newton County is just in a fantastic position. I'm really proud of the seniors, the way they're playing. They're leading their team. If something's going wrong, Coach Cook sends one of his seniors in there, and it seems to calm them down. And that's just taught. That's just unity in a football team, and that's something that you got to have, and that's exactly what we're seeing here with Newton County.
Here's a message to all of you folks out there in Newton County who are listening to us. Come out to Homer Sharp Stadium, support your Rams, give them a big, huge crowd on October the 14th because, folks, this is a very hard-working and now a very successful team. They're undefeated, 3-0, and have a chance, if they can win their next two, to come in with a record of 5-0. Can you imagine how packed this place will be if the Rams will be 5-0? Well, Paul, once again, good to work with you tonight, and we'll be talking to you on the 14th.
Well, I enjoyed it, Kevin. Another good ball game for Newton County. The momentum is right there. Momentum's on their side, and hopefully they'll have a big, strong game against Lithia Springs, and I'll see you guys back here on October 14th.
And once again, for executive producer Todd Chapman as well as Paul Dailey and a cast of thousands, this is Kevin Holden reporting from Homer Sharp Stadium. Your final score tonight will be the Newton County Rams 14 and the Heritage Patriots nada. So long, everybody.
You've been listening to exciting Newton County Rams football on WGFS AM 1430. Ram football on WGFS has been brought to you by Bulldog Tire, Steele Jones Insurance Agency, Pippin's Barbecue, The Farm and Garden Depot, Charles Evans Nissan, Ludy's Sports Shop, Carroll's Floor Covering, Newton Federal Savings and Loan, Mayfield Ace Hardware, East Metro Communications, Hayes Furniture, Coast to Coast Home and Auto, Campbell Lumber Company, Shoney's Restaurant, and Courtesy Ford. Join us again next Football Friday for live coverage of Newton County Rams football, exclusively here on Covington and Newton County sports leader, WGFS AM 1430.
At this time, Covington's radio station, WGFS, concludes another broadcast day. WGFS is locally owned and operated by Radio Covington Incorporated, an affiliate of the CBS Radio Network. WGFS operates with 5,000 watts daytime, 500 watts before sunrise, and 250 watts at night at 1,430 kilohertz. Our studios and offices are located at 1151 Hendrick Street in downtown Covington, and our tower is located along Interstate 20 west of Covington. This is Chris Elder, co-owner and general manager of WGFS, inviting you to join us again for another broadcast day. And now, please stay with us as Reverend Jerry Elder performs the Lord's Prayer.